It took 3-on-3 hockey to find a winner on Halloween night, but it was the Rock Lobsters who treated their fans to a win after Garrett Milan pulled a trick from up his sleeve to win it for the visitors in overtime. Will the Moccasins finally get that first regulation win that they have been desperately looking for, or will the Rock Lobsters prove to be Monroe's boogeyman once again? Good evening, Crustacean Nation, and welcome back to the Athens Rock Lobster Network as we are broadcasting a Saturday night game in the Monroe Civic Center in Monroe, Louisiana, between the Moccasins and your Athens Rock Lobsters. We start our show with the Piedmont Athens Regional Pregame Show. Athens stayed atop the Continental Division with an OT win on Thursday that was good for 2 points, but it was no doubt a different-looking Monroe Moccasin team than when Coach Steve Martinson saw in the season's first weekend. It was still a team that was looking to play a physical game and constantly challenge the Rock Lobsters into playing into their game, but they were more fluid in their offense, and their forecheck was difficult to deal with for large portions of Thursday's game. Garrett Milan is now atop the FPHL in goals after his brace against the Moccasins, and he took a 1-0 lead for his team in the second period when he redirected a shot from Carter Shinkarik. However, the matchup was turned on its head with two Moccasin goals separated by 20 seconds, giving Monroe a 2-1 lead through Declan Conway and Helmer Oscarson at the 13:38 mark. Before the second period was over, Hunter Alden forced a turnover and turned defense into offense with a tape-to-tape pass to facilitate a Brandon Picard shot into a wide-open net. A scoreless third period sent the two teams to overtime, and Milan reached into his bag of tricks to put a move on a defender before bearing a wrist shot into the top corner past Marcus Ekholm-Rosen. Milan has been an impact player all season long, but we take a special focus on our Fan Saves Impact Players segment starting now. For the Moccasins, it's going to be Helmer Oscarson, a man who has spent his entire career in Sweden. He made a name for himself in Monroe on Thursday night as he unleashed a sick wrister in the high slot to take the lead for the Moccasins at 2-1. He already has 2 goals for the Moccasins through just 2 games played this year. For the Rock Lobsters, we're going to take a look at Hunter Alden. With Orca Weisblatt out tonight, some of the team is going to have to step up. Alden stepped up in a big way to change the complexion of that tumultuous second period on Thursday, turning defense into offense with a takeaway into a pass to a wide-open Brandon Picard for the easy bury. He's been centering that third line, and he's been doing a little bit of everything, maybe a little bit quietly. It felt like he announced himself on Thursday night. Our Impact Player segment is brought to you by Fan Saves. Make sure to download the Fan Saves app to access exclusive deals from our partners. For example, you can log in now and you can get a free basket of fries from Farm Burger. Download Fan Saves and follow the Athens Rock Lobsters to check out the Rock Lobsters digital coupon book. What does the starting 5 look like tonight, and will it answer our question on if Orca Weisblatt is good to go? It's time for the Aikens Ford starting lineup. A new face in the starting 5 tonight, the Russian Daniil Glukaryov is wearing number 77 for the team in red and white, and he takes the place of Orca Weisblatt on the wing with the money line, Garrett Milan and Malik Johnson. Of course, behind them, the D-man pair of Carter Shinkarik and Riley Robertson, and the return of Josh Rosenswag in between the pipes. The last time Rosie got the start before his injury was here in Monroe, where he conceded just 4 goals through 2 games. The Athens Rock Lobster starting lineup is brought to you by Aikens Ford. If you're going to make a deal on a new Ford truck, why not deal with the biggest and the best? Here's our first look of the night at the Monroe Civic Center. Looks like another well-attended night for the Monroe Moccasins. Out of all of the arenas we've seen thus far, Monroe has definitely been the most exciting when it comes to thinking about what's to come for the Rock Lobsters on December 6th when they open up their home account in the newly built Aikens Ford Arena. Cannot wait to get in there, feel the chill of the air as we watch the Athens Rock Lobsters play their first ever home game. As you can see, here's a score recap of how it all went down last game. It took an overtime period. Garrett Milan, 2 goals in that one. But perhaps the most scary stat on that stat sheet from Halloween night is 0 for 12 on the power play. Mind you, though, the Rock Lobsters were stellar on the penalty kill, 8 of 9, not bad at all. And it's going to be interesting to see who starts in net for the Moccasins tonight. Ekholm-Rosen had a great game for the Moccasins. He was our 3rd star on the night. And it'll be interesting to see if Mo Levac goes to Ekholm Rosen once again, or if he makes the switch to Sean Kuhn. Moccasins making their way to the ice. Looks like they have some glow-in-the-dark jerseys. Whoever's in charge of the uniform setup in Monroe doing a great job. We got our first peek of the home jerseys for the Athens Rock Lobsters just a couple days ago. They were modeled by Justin Portillo as they were heading to Danville, and they were a great, great look. Cannot wait to see those on the ice come December. Of course, Orca Weisblatt, a part of our Piedmont Athens regional injury report. Orca Weisblatt looked like he suffered an injury to his left hand in the game on Thursday night, and because of that, he is unfortunately going to miss at the very least this game. We'll take a look at the standings now. Athens atop the pack in the Continental. Of course, these are from Thursday night. Now have extended that lead at 16 points. Still waiting for the arrival of the Moccasin team. Enlow airbrushing, giving me a tip on just how the magic is done. I thought a magician never tells his tricks, but apparently it's a black light on white threads, not glow in the dark. Feels like we're just a couple minutes away from the national anthem here, which we'll turn over to the Monroe broadcast when that time comes. Steve Martinson, now on 1,129 pro coaching wins. Can he reach 1,130 tonight? Would be great to see Case and Gallant also get back in a scoring mood. Now Garrett Milan is just above him in the FPHL scoring charts. What's interesting about this Monroe team right now is the highest performing players are players that are brand new to the Monroe team. Declan Conway played just his first game for Monroe on Thursday night, and he got the scoring started for Monroe to tie it up at 1 apiece in the second period. Helmer Oscarson played just his second game, his first being that shootout win against Baton Rouge 2 games ago. Looks like Ekholm Rosen getting the start tonight for the Moccasins. Had a very, very good game, but unfortunately that laser wrist shot from Garrett Milan beat him up high to end that one in overtime. Out comes the national anthem singer, Tabor Sullivan. Let's see if we can get some audio from the Monroe broadcast. It seems like another audio issue on the Monroe side. In my talks with Joseph Furtado, who is a very, very good broadcaster in Monroe for the Moccasins, apparently there were some Wi-Fi issues in the building that night, and it led to just a little bit of problems with the broadcast Thursday night. Nothing that was that big of a deal. I think that has a lot to do with Joseph Furtado's prowess in this business. Big thanks to him. He was a really big part of me kind of coming into this role as fluidly as I did, because the first trip being in Monroe, he helped me out a lot in learning the tricks of the trade, and rightfully so. He has a great broadcast in Monroe and is facilitating this broadcast for us tonight. There we saw the Monroe Moccasins in gray and black tonight with the chrome-style helmets. Rock Lobsters in the primarily white jerseys with the red trim that we've seen this season. Red pants, white socks. It looks like we're getting the end of this anthem now. Land of the free, home of the brave. But right now, the Monroe Civic Center has felt more like the home of the Athens Rock Lobsters. They've made it their barn thus far. 3 games played, all of them won by the Rock Lobsters, even if it took a little extra in overtime last game. Gold helmets for the Moccasins. And they will feel golden if they can get their first regulation win tonight. Just 4 points on the year in the 2024-25 campaign. And there's another look at Marcus Ekholm-Rosen, who had his best performance of the year last game against Athens. Unfortunately, came up just short, losing that game in overtime. But he was kind of hung out to dry the first time that he played against this team. That happening on the first weekend of the season, looked a lot better, as did all of this Monroe team last game. And Josh Rosenzweig, a sight for sore eyes, in the net tonight for the Athens Rock Lobsters. Looks like it's going to be a like-for-like change. Orca Weisblatt out with the injury. Daniil Glukaryov making his first appearance for the Rock Lobsters this year. You see him on the far side right behind the referee. Shinkarik, Riley Robertson, Milan, Josh Rosenzweig, Glukaryov, and Malik Johnson. And the puck is dropped, and we are underway. And we are immediately not underway with the icing. So, after Monroe tries to make the early entry on the icing, we have an early offensive zone draw for this money line. Let's see if it's just as money with a new face on there. This is something we've seen a lot in Monroe thus far. Officials that are really not happy with how faceoffs are taken. Monroe the victim this time, and having to make the trap on that up high was Ekholm-Rosen on a shot from Carter Shinkarik. No doubt, Shinkarik's wrister has played a huge part of the Rock Lobsters' success this season, including last game. It was his shot that was redirected by Milan. We initially thought that it was he who was the goal scorer. We do the face-off once again. Lift it up off the glass. Shinkarik whacks at it. It takes a stop. Here come the Moccasins. Scott Koch trying to challenge. Rosenzweig early. What a save. Is it in? Yes, it is. But it's waved off by the official. Going to be interesting here. Wondering if the officials are going to take a look at this one. Josh Rosenzweig made a great initial save, and then as the wraparound came back around, it looked like he made a great sprawl to his right to get to that puck, and then it was eventually pushed in. I think the question here is going to be whether it came before or after the whistle. Referees getting together here as it's watched closely. This meeting with Scott Koch, consulting with the officials, would be Scott Koch's 70th goal in his FPHL career. And I think they're going to take a look at it. And once again, we're seeing the rubber snakes, which have been potentially the bane of any facility worker's existence thus far in Monroe. Rosenzweig made a couple of great saves there. And it looks like they're going to count it as a puck freeze. And that the whistle was blown before the puck was pushed in. So no goal, thank goodness, for the Rock Lobsters. Now we've got this next lineup. Philip Virgili, Cason Gallant, and Brandon Picard. Virgili able to slap it to the far boards. It's put up, a potential 2-on-1 here. Virgili, Picard to his left. He takes the wrister himself, saved by his fellow countryman, Ekholm Rosen. Now here come Monroe with speed the other direction through Blake Anderson. Picard, just missing Gallant, still able to get to the rubber. Puck dumped in. Gallant gives chase. Philip Virgili almost sent a great pass into the slot. Brandon Picard was there waiting for it. Wrister from way on out there. I think that one took a deflection off the pad of Ekholm Rosen. Ocean Weisblatt getting dirty in the corner. Monroe able to skate away with the puck. Ocean Weisblatt watched his brother go down to injury last game. It was an injury to the hand of Orca Weisblatt. Not too sure on what exactly caused it. But we saw him getting treated right outside the rink. Monroe, as we saw Thursday night, more than happy to dump the puck in and try to use their forecheck to cause Athens problems. It was a similar plan to what they had in the first weekend of the season, but it went way more to plan on Thursday night. Let's see how good that plan looks here in this series finale. Shinkarik over to Robertson, back to the captain. Puck right on the halfway line. Hunt, puck at the blue line. Robertson shoves it in. Sent back where it came from by Chris Corrigan. Portillo had one of the best fights that we saw this season. He taught Dylan Hullaby not to mess with the Rock Lobsters. Declan Conway, the goal scorer of Monroe's first, forces a save out of Rosenzweig. Trouble still for the Athens Rock Lobsters. Another great save. Rosenzweig closed that 5-hole on Bedard. Athens whiff on that one. Trigvi Miniguns takes it into the far corner. Milan helps it on its way, and here comes Daniil Glukaryov. Glukaryov has played his last 3 years of pro hockey in Russia, in the third tier of Russian pro hockey. Johnson, slapper, blocked out in front. 3.5 minutes through this first period. The most convincing scoring opportunity came on the goal that was waved off. Troy Murray gets just enough on that to get it through a Moccasin. Shinkarik, always such a calming presence on the puck. Look at him drift past his own net. Finds Gallant. Gallant tries to spring back to get a poke check on it. Scott Koash trying to drag that puck with him, didn't come. But he still fights and is able to keep the Rock Lobsters pinned here. Here comes that great forecheck once again for the team from Monroe, Louisiana. Heavy hit. brings the Monroe Civic Center to its feet. Schumacher tried to take out Philip Virgili. Virgili and Gallant in the corner. Virgili doesn't know the puck's not still there. Kolatarski tries to lay his body on someone on the far side, and Troy Murray has some space to calm things down, finds Picard. Looks like we got a stoppage of play here. Brandon Picard down to a knee. Take a quick look at the YouTube chat. Make sure you subscribe. Of course, we want to see more and more voices in the chat. Looks like the Rock Lobsters are going to go to the Paloma Park power play. If the Rock Lobsters score on the Paloma Park power play, fans can unlock $3 tacos at Paloma Park for 24 hours through the Fan Saves app. Please make sure to download the Fan Saves app. A good reason to do so. You get free tacos if the Rock Lobsters score on this power play, the first man advantage that we've seen tonight for either team. Virgili Shinkarik, Gallant, Malik Johnson, and Garrett Milan. Virgili loses a handle. It's an easy clearance for the Moccasins to make. Rosenzweig plays the puck back to Shinkarik. Wheels around, tries to build some momentum out of their own zone. Gallant did a great job to kind of sway into the offensive zone, eventually cleared out once again. Again, a Rock Lobster power play that went 0 for 12 last game. Milan with a great pass into the high slot. Wraparound opportunity! What a goal, Garrett Milan! Great reaction from the player coach to put the Rock Lobsters up on the first power play of the night. A statement to be made after it went 0 for 12 last game. So make sure you download your Fan Saves app and get your free your $3 tacos from Paloma Park. And here we see another view. Garrett Milan makes a great pass into the high slot. Hunter Alden gets it right back to him. Quick thinking, and Garrett Milan with the quick wraparound goal. What a great, great goal scored by Garrett Milan. He's trying to become the first player in the FPHL with 10 goals. And what do we have here? We saw Malik Johnson in the penalty box. Faceoff looks like it's at center ice, so I think the goal is going to count. The Monroe scoreboard hasn't been changed yet. So right after the power play goal, we go to the Leslie Jones Law penalty kill. Strong, skilled, strategic defense. That's Leslie Jones. Trying to get confirmation on if that goal stood. And indeed it did. Milan from Virgili and Alden at the 5:28 mark. And that puck's out of play, and play will stop. Minute 35 on this Monroe power play. We want to appreciate all you guys for tuning in tonight. 89 people joining us on this Saturday night. Make sure you subscribe to join in on the Athens Rock Lobster Network chat. We would love to be able to get to 500 subscribers. We're going to take a break here. At the 14:07 mark, Rock Lobsters up 1-0 over the Moccasins.
As a football player, my body is everything to me. When I got injured, I was worried about
my future in the game, but you and your team's expertise, care, and support reassured me from the start. I've been able to recover because of the quality care I received at Piedmont, and I am back playing at my full potential on the field. I can't thank you enough for what you've done for me, my family, and my future. Your help means the world to me, and I'll always be grateful for your part in keeping my dreams alive. How you doing?
Well, I didn't know you were going to be here.
Yes, sir.
I'm so proud of you. So happy for you. It gives me joy to see you out there on the field doing your thing. You look good.
Appreciate you.
It's a good-looking ankle.
I'm trying to tell you.
Garrett Milan is the reason the Rock Lobsters are up 1-0 here in the Monroe Civic Center. But now a minute and 35 of Monroe power play. So an immediate opportunity for the Moccasins to find a response. Garrett Milan knows something about scoring early. I tell you what, I think it's something to do with him being 33 years old. His speed really catches people by surprise. Koash pulls up, little wraparound pass for himself. All the way back, Schumacher to his right is Kyle Stevens. Quick wrister. And it looks like that one is stuck in somehow. Out of nothing. Did that one come back off of Rosenswag, off the ironwork? We're going to have to see if we could get another look at that one. A couple of back-to-back power play goals for the two teams. Looks like it's Trigby Miniguns with his first goal of the 2024-25 season. No, it looks like on that near post, Trigby Miniguns is able to swipe it in after Blake Anderson had initially sent a shot on Rosenswag's net. So game even at 1 apiece with goals from Milan and Miniguns. Milan leading the FPHL in goals scored. And Trigby Miniguns with his first goal of the season. And a bunch of rubber hits the ice. Unfortunately, that rubber is not pucks, it's snakes. I wonder if the Monroe players like picking up snakes off of their own ice. Just curious. Rock Lobsters are hoping they can make it a great night for people in Athens. Of course, the fans in the Classic City celebrating a UGA win against the Gators. So maybe we can take out another reptile tonight. Popped up, palmed down by Garcia. Ocean Weisblatt has to play the puck quickly, and he does. Here he is into neutral ice. Tries to flip a pass to Justin Portillo. Garcia able to save that puck from going out. Ocean Weisblatt gets hit hard up high by Dylan Hullaby. Chris Corrigan in the corner. Ocean Weisblatt took that heavy hit but hasn't given up on anything yet. Really quick shot from a tight angle, and it's saved by Rosenswag in the glove, and the clock will stop at 12:35. Taking a look at that. That one was close to coming off of Garcia and could have took an awkward bounce into the net, but Rosenswag was able to get to the edge of the crease and glove it himself. Two number 10s in the faceoff circle. Helmer Oscarson wins the draw. Riley Robertson trying to marshal that puck into the corner. Ends up pinning a Moccasin to the end boards. Johnson to Milan to Shinkarik. Great defensive play. Shinkarik somehow still gets that shot off. Ekholm Rosen makes a save, and now getting stuck in for the very first time as a Rock Lobster, Daniil Glukaryov. Staring down Trigby Miniguns, who no doubt is someone who is game to get involved in those kinds of extracurriculars. Two-man advantages in this game thus far. That's where the 2 goals came. One for Garrett Milan and one for Trigby Miniguns. Milan wins the draw here. Riley Robertson with a shot. Takes contact out in front. Moccasins can't get it away. Shinkarik back up the near boards all the way around for Malik Johnson. Tries to play a backhand pass to Garrett Milan. Milan can get that puck free. Riley Robertson pokes it back in, but can't do so the second time around. And here come the Moccasins trying to develop a 2-on-1. Wrist shot saved by Rosenswag. Rosenswag trying to kick off some of that rust, and it looks like he's done so as this game has progressed. You couldn't have asked for a better weekend to start the season as we see that 2-on-1 once again. Moccasins opted for the shot instead of the pass, and Rosenswag able to make the save. Josh Rosenswag, the youngest Athens Rock Lobster on this roster. Casey Gallant can't take that puck with him. Blake Anderson on this near side. That one needed a punch from Rosenswag. Gallant picks it up on the far boards. Flipped up looking for Picard. Finds a Moccasin instead. Palmed down by Kolatarsi. Virgili trying to use some of his passing acumen to find a teammate. Awkward loose puck in the faceoff circle. Virgili can't get it back to the D. And that one's going to be an icing. All knotted up at 1 apiece, and we see all the fans attending this game in the Monroe Civic Center. I know the Athens fans won't be beat when it comes to cheering on their team this year. Looking forward to December 6th to get into a fresh new arena. We'll tell you about how to get season tickets later on in the broadcast. Murray tries a shot from long distance, doesn't come off. That one's out of play. We'll do the face-off again. It's been already an electric start to this one. 2 goals less than 10 minutes in. Virgili, Gallant, and Picard on for the Rock Lobsters. Face-off won by the Snakes. They're able to evade all the defensive plays there from the Rock Lobsters. Kalu Koviniemi loses out on the handle. Braden Picard has no one but himself, just misses wide. And Troy Murray not liking the check there from Koivuniemi. A couple of bouts developing. Seth Bacon, who made no fans of the Rock Lobster team last game. Seth Bacon gets wrangled, and my goodness, we knew that there was the potential of this happening with how everything went down last game. We saw Troy Murray in the penalty box. The question will be, is any Moccasin? And I believe it'll be a 4-on-4. Let's see if we have any answer on the federalhockey.com penalty summary. Doesn't seem like that'll be the case. The last one that we saw was Malik Johnson with the unsportsmanlike that was right after the goal. Matthias Tellstrom served a too many men penalty that led to the Garrett Milan goal. And it looks like we're indeed going to the 4-on-4. For those of you just joining us, we're at the 10:35 mark. 4-on-4 starting. Rock Lobsters in a deadlock with Monroe 1-1. Garrett Milan scored first in this one, and then Trigby Miniguns with the response on a power play right after the power play goal scored by the Rock Lobsters. Shinkarik, tape-to-tape pass to Riley Robertson. Robertson with a 4A out of the defensive position finds Shinkarik. Shinkarik, Robertson, Milan, and Johnson on the 4-on-4. Robertson with a pass over to Johnson, who doesn't know where the puck is. Good tie-up right in front of the net by this Monroe defense. Schumacher with a sliding poke check. Got hurt for it. Looks like there's a penalty coming to take us to a 4-on-3. Malik Johnson looks like he might be heading back to the box after Frank Schumacher was left on the ice. Don't know if it was a high hit or what happened there. Definitely looks like Schumacher needs some attention. Schumacher, a 31-year-old D-man from Brighton, Michigan. Looks like Charlie Bedard was being ushered off the ice as well. It was a very physical game that had a couple of fights to it. A lot of extracurriculars after whistles. No doubt this is something that's carried on into this game on Saturday night. There we can see Orca Weisblatt in plain clothes. Was told before the game that he would have to sit this one out. So we're going to a 4-on-3 Monroe power play. And that leads us back to the Leslie Jones Law penalty kill. Strong, skilled, strategic defense. Malik Johnson is a repeat offender. Be good, but if you can't be good and you get caught, call Leslie. This is something that happened a lot in the game on Thursday, just taking a long time to iron out the penalties. A couple of Yankee fans not looking so sad there. Good for them. So the Monroe crew trying to find a lot of panning camera shots of the arena as the officials try to figure everything out. We're going to head to a media timeout as they try to settle everything. We go to a commercial break. Rock Lobsters tied 1-1 with the Moccasins. 2 power play goals, the story of this one.
Since we opened in 1968, we've taken pride in our professional staff. Unparalleled customer service is our legacy. Experience the best, skilled hands and friendly faces. At Stanfield Air Systems, satisfaction is not just a guarantee, it's our tradition. Schedule online at stanfieldair.com.
This broadcast of the Athens Rock Lobsters is brought to you by Piedmont Athens Regional. Real change lives here. Akins Ford. Akins Ford is the largest Ford dealership in Georgia. If you're going to trust anyone, why not trust the biggest and the best? Stanfield Air Systems. We've spent the last 50 years fulfilling Athens' HVAC needs. First American Bank and Trust. We specialize in you. And Terrapin Beer Company. Do the right thing always. Back in play here at the Monroe Civic Center. A 4-on-3 Monroe power play. They've already scored on one. Alden, Robertson, and Shinkarik, this three-man unit for Steve Martinson. Low slot shot. Rosenzweig with great positioning to make the stop there. Good rotation, and that one's off the post. Alden skating hard to try and get there. Might put him out of place. Robertson makes the block and then makes the clearance. "15 seconds on the offsetting penalties that made it 4-on-4. And then we'll have about 40 seconds of 5-on-4 power play for the Moccasins. Koash in the right faceoff circle. Poke checked out by Kolatarsi, who then takes a whack at it, sending it a short distance up the boards. Virgili is able to skate it out. The Swede trying to take a chance, shorthanded. And it might pay off here. Troy Murray trying to stick it in. A couple of great back-to-back saves from Ekholm Rosen. Ekholm Rosen has looked electric in this series versus the Rock Lobsters. We'll take another look as Troy Murray is able to check a puck loose. A miscue of a pass, plays it with his own feet, gets a few stabs at it. Still trying to figure out what the penalty call was on Malik Johnson. It's going down as an elbowing minor. Garrett Milan had been in there for what was called abuse of officials. Virgili's stick pushed away from him. Blake Anderson gets it to Charlie Bedard. Offside call. Things beginning to heat up. Ice not melting yet, but the Monroe power play is now over. You just ask the question, is it a matter of if or when two of the players on the ice will drop the gloves? It was Hullaby and Portillo on Thursday night that got the Fight Club started. Looks like more penalties are on the way here in Monroe. And I believe it's going to be another Monroe power play. Perhaps not. Looks like it's a five-man unit out. So we go to the Paloma Park power play. Looks like the Rock Lobsters leaving the face-off circle here. Slight delay before the Paloma power play gets started. Rock Lobsters have already scored on the power play tonight, so make sure you get on the Fan Saves app and download it so you can get $3 tacos from Paloma Park. Gallant Johnson brings the puck in. Gallant back to Shinkarik. Milan scored on the first power play of the night. Can he find another multi-goal game here? Garrett Milan, so well known playing for the Pensacola Ice Flyers. Shinkarik, his shot gets blocked out in front. Quickly passes it back to Virgili. Malik Johnson back to the Swede. Shinkarik. Garrett Milan fakes the slapper. Back to Shinkarik, who takes the slapper. It's off the boards behind Ekholm Rosen. Loose puck, and whistle gets blown. Wonder if that's because the referees lost the sight of the puck there. I think it got lost in the gear of Virgili there for a second. 6:51 left in the first period. Tied game at 1 apiece. And a minute 6 left on this Rock Lobster Paloma Park power play. Virgili over to the right for Shinkarik. Back to the Swede. Milan in the corner. Is he thinking about another wraparound? Tries a creative pass out into the slot. He gets the puck back. Shinkarik fakes a slapper back to Milan. Milan returns the favor. The captain, evaluating his options, unleashes a shot. It's into the netting, and we've got another stoppage of play. 43 seconds left on the man advantage, and here we see another look, that interplay between Shinkarik and Milan. Shinkarik eventually makes the decision on the shot. Believe the second unit coming out now. Indeed it is. Hunter Alden wins the faceoff over to Picard. Kolatarsi on the far side. That one so narrowly missing. Took an awkward bounce in front of the net. We got a 1-on-0 opportunity for the Moccasins. A wrister save from Rosenswag. Rosenswag has done really, really well in his first few games as a Rock Lobster. We see how that all developed. Kolatarsi tries to play the puck, gets hit up high. I believe it's Ben Stefanini who was bearing down in on Rosenswag's goal, but perhaps where Rosenswag has looked the strongest as he makes a save on many guns is his ability to make intelligent plays on breakaways. This is the last bite of the cherry for the Rock Lobsters on the power play. Hunter Alden takes a bounce pass all the way around to Chris Hunt. Hunt plays it back in that direction. Picard trying to get it over to Alden, and looks like that's going to do it for the power play. About 5 minutes, 40 seconds left in regulation, rather in this first period. Picard slaps it behind him, up the boards. Kolatarsi behind the net. Now went off the skates of Picard, who's able to turn around, dump the puck in. Chris Hunt will chase. Chris Hunt tries to pin that puck with his left skate. Gets it free for Garrett Milan as the Rock Lobsters are making a line change. A really good shot in an advantageous position for Riley Robertson. But a great save from Ekholm Rosen. He's playing the hockey of his life right now. Offensive zone draw for the Rock Lobsters. Both teams trying to take an advantage into the first intermission. Make sure you stay tuned in the first intermission. We've got our Coach's Corner interview. Will Coach be happy? Wow, look at the moves there from Garrett Milan. Keeps that puck on the ice, takes it past the defender, but now here come the Moccasins. Clean zone entry. Koash looking to score the goal that was waved off for him. Net is off its moorings, and that will kill the attack. Take another look at that. Scott Koash receives a great pass, looking for this wraparound pass over to, I believe, Noah Robinson, who was waiting for it. Enlo Airbrushing says, liking the video feed, camera work, and stats graphics. Admittedly, you have the Monroe team to thank. Joseph Furtado, as I said at the beginning of the broadcast, has a great show in Monroe, just making his start over for the Moccasins, his first few games of the season, himself making the move from Baton Rouge. And we go to another commercial break here. Stay tuned here with us. The last 4 minutes, 35 seconds of the first coming up after this message.
As a football player, my body is everything to me. When I got injured, I was worried about
my future in the game, but you and your team's expertise, care, and support reassured me from the start. I've been able to recover because of the quality care I received at Piedmont, and I am back playing at my full potential on the field. I can't thank you enough for what you've done for me, my family, and my future. Your help means the world to me, and I'll always be grateful for your part in keeping my dreams alive. How you doing?
Well, I didn't know you were going to be here.
Yes, sir.
I'm so proud of you. So happy for you. It gives me joy to see you out there on the field doing your thing. You look good.
Appreciate you.
It's a good-looking ankle.
I'm trying to tell you.
Meet our professional team, where the best customer service is our promise. With over 5 decades of expertise, trust Stanfield to keep.
Right back in play here. Last 4 minutes and 30 seconds of this first period. Both teams jousting to try and be the one to take an advantage going into the locker room in the first intermission. Declan Conway, sharing a name with a UGA hockey player. No relation. Shinkarik wheeling around for Glukaryov. Glukaryov, last season, 5 goals, 13 assists with Dinamo Alte Bernal. His first experience in the States. Shinkarik gets in a great position. He's been looking for that shot all game long. Portillo behind the net. Ocean Weisblatt doing battle with Stefanini. We saw him on that great 1v0 opportunity earlier, but this one leaves a little to be desired. 3:34 left in the first. Offensive zone draw for the Moccasins. Good win from Hunter Alden. This third line has played some good hockey in this series thus far. Ocean Weisblatt with a dump in. Weisblatt's a lot of hockey-playing brothers. Hunter Alden, really clever move, followed up by Portillo. Ekholm Rosen, as we said earlier, has been playing the hockey of his life right now. Disappointment there from Alden and Portillo. Turnover forced by Chris Hunt. Hunter Alden takes it off the boards, goes forehand, backhand. Ekholm Rosen makes the stop. Justin Portillo tried to stuff it in but couldn't. The Swede has got to be happy with his play over the last two, but no doubt, like the rest of this Monroe team, he wants a regulation win in Monroe. Still looking for their first win in general in Monroe. The only win for the Moccasins this season, Troy Murray gets his helmet batted off him by Pregame miniguns. The only win in general for the Moccasins this season came on the shootout. And Troy Murray's being taken to the box. Okay, so apparently we go to a Monroe power play for Troy Murray getting his helmet slapped off of him. We're back to the Leslie Jones Law penalty kill. Strong, skilled, strategic defense. If that's what you need, give a call to Leslie Jones Law. Pregame miniguns, who already has a power play goal to his name of the last 2 minutes and 40 seconds of this first period. 2 minutes of it will potentially be a man advantage for the Moccasins. Milan just tries to poke it out on the faceoff. It's back to the blue line for the Moccasins. Kyle Stevens with a shot. Rosenswag, puck loose out in front temporarily, but Rosenswag able to make the freeze. You get nervous about goaltenders making a physical plays, even more so with Josh Rosenswag, of course, coming off that shoulder injury that kept him sidelined for a few weeks. Quick face-off one by the Moccasins. Rock Lobsters unable to clear out, saved by Stevens. Koash with a wrister and another great glove save from Rosenswag. It feels like if you're just one man, you're not going to be able to beat Rosenswag. You see that on the wrister. It's a great grab out to his right with a glove. Blake Anderson gets kicked out. Pregame miniguns trickles back in for the faceoff. Still work to be done here. Minute 30 now on the Leslie Jones Law penalty kill. Carrick settles, as he so often does. Sends it into the Monroe zone. Monroe trying to generate another attack here. Blake Anderson. Wheels around Colatursi. Gallant gets a skate on that one. Trying to find the puck once again. It's backhanded over to Koash. Drop pass, Blake Anderson. Miniguns, pokes it back to Koash. Behind the net. Wonder if he was thinking about that wraparound pass once again. 45 seconds left in the man advantage. Anderson. Wow, a couple of great passes led to a great opportunity for Pregame miniguns to try and find his second of the evening. But he whiffs on the shot on an open net. Wow, great work from Blake Anderson out in front, but he can't capitalize. Tries a turnaround shot. 13 seconds to go on the Monroe power play. Great pass out into the low slot. The Rock Lobsters are getting bodies in the right places, but they are playing on the edge of their skates right now. Power play over for Monroe. Troy Murray tries to chase that puck out. Still in this Athens zone. Quick wrister. Rosenswag loses sight of it. Trying to keep his head on a swivel, and now he's got a sight of it. And a miss right out in front. Pregame miniguns again with a close range miss. We take another look as there's just 23 seconds left to go in this first period. Great work out in the corner behind the net. Pregame miniguns can't bury it. So a couple of back-to-back opportunities for the native out of the Siksika Nation in Alberta. Hunter Alden in the face-off circle with the Swede, Helmer Oskarsson. Stefanini, bodies out in front. Rock Lobsters able to keep it out. Heavy, heavy check. And it's a penalty. Looks like it's Chris Corrigan who's being escorted to the sin bin. I'm not sure if it's going to be a board or if it's going to be a cross check. I thought I saw two hands on the stick and the stick came up. So the good news is the Rock Lobsters will potentially start the second period with a Paloma Park power play. But they'd be happy to go ahead and score one early with just 13 seconds to go in the first. Stay tuned in the first intermission. We've got our Coach's Corner that debuted Thursday night. You either have the chance to listen again, or if you couldn't tune in Thursday, you'll have a chance to hear it for the first time. Virgili pretty much ensures there's not going to be any scoring opportunities left in this first period. And that will do it. A really, really electric start with a lot of man advantages for both teams. It was Garrett Milan who got things started. That man is absolutely red hot, has been using his speed not only in his body but in his mind as well to his advantage. Had the wherewithal to try the quick wraparound on Ekholm Rosen and got the scoring started. And that came on the power play after the Rock Lobsters went 0 for 12 in the power play in Game 1 of this series. He was helped by Philip Virgili and Hunter Alden at the 5:28 mark. Then about a minute later, after the Rock Lobsters got the penalty on the unsportsmanlike conduct from the goal, Trigby Miniguns buried one on a Monroe man advantage to even it up at 1 apiece. So we go into the first intermission, and the Rock Lobsters will hope that they can capitalize coming out of the first intermission as they'll start the second period on the power play. So welcome back to our first intermission Coach's Corner. Matt Rad joined once again by Rock Lobster head coach Steve Martinson. Coach Marty, the team tastes its first defeat in the game Friday against the Dashers and then bounces back in a big way the next night. Was there anything that needed to be tweaked between those two games, or were you just not getting the bounce of the puck in Game 1?
Well, I mean, we had a ton of chances. We had a ton of shots. We had a bunch of pipes. But I think the biggest difference between the two, we didn't have good net front. The goalie was seeing everything, and we weren't there for the rebounds that were sitting there. A couple of loose pucks that we could have put in if we had guys going to the net. And the next night we got that, a little better at being at or around the net when we were shooting the puck. And again, we had a lot of shots. So, but it couldn't keep us keep us from scoring the whole weekend.
You were somewhat the victim of a really good goalie performance in Danville, and then Jack Bostek comes out the next night, puts on a great show of his own. It's still really early days of you really even getting your eyes on Jack. What have you made of his play thus far?
Well, he's an All-American for a reason, so he's a good goalie. And he's very confident, and he's got good size, and, he just does everything well. So I'm not surprised. He's got, again, they screwed up the stats again, and we still haven't had anything corrected from the first weekend. So kind of it's annoying, but he's got a 9.35 save percentage too, and 2 goals against, but they counted the empty net goal against him as a goal. So dealing with that still.
The special teams were electric in that second game. A shorty and 3 power play goals. On the man advantage, it seemed like the plan was put pucks on net and everything else will follow. Was that the plan, or was that just how things kind of fell that night?
Well, if your power play isn't scoring, you want to shoot the puck. And I'm a big believer in shoot the puck first and then make plays second. So, we were firing the puck and I think their goalie, it's pretty tough for him to, when you look at his statistics, sometimes you lose a game because the goalie plays out of his mind, and they're all capable of doing it. But, we were really weak defensively on the second goal, on their game-winning goal. We had 5 guys poke check the guy with the puck, and sure enough, it ends up on somebody's stick where the goalie was screened, and they got a kind of a garbagey goal. But that's why you got to, the things that you work on, you want to make sure you're doing in the game. And one of the things that we believe in is screening the goalie and getting traffic to the net.
Garrett Milan scored yet another extremely early goal, once again on Friday night, scoring in the first minute. Do you see that as, as a team, do you sniff that out, that maybe a team is vulnerable early, or is that just Millsy being Millsy? Does his speed kind of catch other teams off guard?
Yeah, I'd like to take credit. It's just really good coaching. But no, I mean, that line is just, I start them every game now because they seem to always score first. And so, the sooner we get on the scoreboard, the better. So that's why, I keep going back with that line to start the game and get them out there as many shifts as I can early in the game. And they're typically that they're going to get that first goal. And he's a pro, and he shows why he led an SP team in scoring, because he's a pro and he's ready to play. And I love that. I don't have to talk to him. I don't have to, try to pat him on the back or build. He just gets ready to play and goes out there, and he's ready to go right at the start.
We saw another fresh face this past weekend, Ocean Weisblatt, who's been with the team but started in the D-Corps for the first time this season. I thought he brought a physical edge to his game. What did you make of his performance in the 2 games?
Yeah, well, he was getting kind of physical in practice. I think he was frustrated because he's been practicing and hadn't played yet. So he is a physical player, even though he's not a real big guy. But he does. He told me that when I signed him, he had 100 and some penalty minutes, and so he'll be another guy that will chip in and be physical and be greasy. And that's what we saw that a little bit in the second game. Things started to get a little chippy, but then we just started to crush some guys, and then they decided they weren't going to try to pursue that type of game against us. So, we need, everybody, all hands on deck when it comes to that physical play.
We didn't see Josh Rosenswag or Cole McKechnie this last weekend. Half of the reason for that was logistical. The other half was kind of precautionary. Are we going to see them potentially back in the mix in Monroe?
Well, so I've been dealing with the league with the point system and been denied again on trying to reduce a player's points. So I got a point problem, and they were on the IR. They weren't eligible to play last weekend. So I got a point issue before we can activate either one of those guys. I got to decide what I'm doing on the roster, and we've got, one player that's going to be out next weekend. So there's a lot of moving parts. So, we'll see what I come up with by Thursday night.
You pointed out last time I talked to you that depth is what leads to success in the playoffs, and we've definitely seen depth thus far in the 3 lines and the 7D. Someone who's shining for me on the 3rd line is Chris Hunt. He knows this level well, and it feels like he's off to his best start of a season at this level. A good wrist shot that we saw on Saturday, which he scored on. A guy who's not afraid to get dirty in the corners. What are you liking about Huntsy so far?
Well, he kind of, depending on, I move him around between, different lines depending on who they're matching up, and he's kind of a guy that, he's a greasy guy, and when things start to get heat up, he's right there in the mix. So, but he's got a great knack around the net to put pucks in. So, I mean, it's no surprise that he's scoring goals.
I know sometimes coaches might put different lines out for different reasons. Do you kind of have that philosophy with the build of your team? Is there like a defensive line, a checking line, or is the goal for all 3 lines to generate scoring chances no matter what?
Yeah, you want to all generate offense, but obviously Ports is on the one line, and he brings a more physical element than other guys. And then, the first line's got a lot of speed and skill, and actually, we've got. I think our team in speed has increased a little bit, and some guys still got to get in a little better shape. But I do like our overall depth for speed. And, one of the things that it's funny because we were talking about it this morning that I was talking about with Phil is, we were talking about Kaysen being a guy that could be a guy that really, puts us in a good position because he'd scored a lot of goals in when he was in college, and if he could continue to do that here, he would give us a couple of high-scoring lines, and that's what we have now. So Picard is starting to heat up a little bit in practice. I've seen him score a lot of nice goals, so I think we got a lot of offensive depth now.
Last question, Coach. You guys head back to Monroe later this week to take on the Moccasins. They have still yet to win a game in regulation. Curious if you're potentially thinking that anything different is going to happen from the last time that you were in Louisiana.
Well, they got a couple of guys that don't play, and they kind of try to, the one comes out and tries to challenge guys to fights, and I tell our guys, you can fight anybody you want, but not those guys, because they don't play. Right. They don't play, and there's zero factor in the game. So
the 10-shift rule, right?
Yeah, that's not going to change at all if they dress one of those guys that doesn't play hockey and just wants to go out and fight. I mean, it's just kind of ridiculous. But I'm going to watch video of their last game tomorrow. We got a long bus trip, so I'll be watching some of the video to see if they're doing anything different than. But I just thought, they looked like they were a little bit, heavy when we played them last time. So, it's close to a month later, maybe some of the guys have gotten a little bit better shape. But I thought they looked a little heavy when we played them.
Thanks so much, Coach. Good luck this week. Always great to talk to the first head coach in Athens Rock Lobster history, Steve Martinson, who has got his team off to a fantastic start at 6 wins and just 1 loss for 16 points atop the entire FPHL. Can they keep it going tonight against Monroe? They're off to a 1-1 start at the end of the first period. We're going to take a quick break here. We'll be back with some commercial messages after this quick 2-minute break. Back to the first intermission clock. Matt Team Rat here in the first intermission. Rock Lobsters tying this one 1-1 after the first 20. They will start the second period with a Paloma Park power play. We'll take a quick recap on how we got here. Right now, it's really just a minute of play that has dictated the scoreline thus far. At the 5:28 mark, Garrett Milan made a very, very quick read off the end boards to wrap around. Rather, it was a quick pass, I believe, from Hunter Alden, that Garrett Milan quickly wrapped around the net and stuck it in past Ekholm Rosen for his third goal in 2 games, extending his lead at the top of the FPHL goal scoring charts. Can he be the first player in the Fed to make it to double-digit goals? We'll see if he can do that later tonight. But Malik Johnson took an unsportsmanlike conduct on the celebration of that goal. Monroe immediately goes to a power play for themselves, the Leslie Jones Law penalty kill for the Rock Lobsters. And Trigby Miniguns scores his first goal in a big moment of the season just a minute after the Rock Lobsters had opened the scoring to make it a 1-1 game. So that is the story thus far. If you're just joining us, make sure you stay tuned. We are just minutes away from second period action. Stay tuned here on the Athens Rock Lobster Network. With the Athens Rock Lobsters off to a hot start, now's the time to lock in your loyalty. Secure your season tickets and save big compared to single-game prices. Plus, enjoy exclusive benefits like early entry and meet and greets with the team. Do not miss a moment. Get your season ticket today. For more, visit rocklobstershockey.com/tickets. This broadcast of the Athens Rock Lobsters is brought to you by Piedmont Athens Regional. Real change lives here. Akins Ford is the largest Ford dealership in Georgia. If you're going to trust anyone, why not trust the biggest and the best? Stanfield Air Systems. We've spent the last 50 years fulfilling Athens' HVAC needs. First American Bank and Trust. We specialize in you. Terrapin Beer Company. Do the right thing always. Minutes away from the second period. Make sure you stay tuned here. We're going to go to a commercial break.
As a football player, my body is everything to me. When I got injured, I was worried about
my future in the game, but you and your team's expertise, care, and support reassured me from the start. I've been able to recover because of the quality care I received at Piedmont, and I am back playing at my full potential on the field. I can't thank you enough for what you've done for me, my family, and my future. Your help means the world to me, and I'll always be grateful for your part and keeping my dreams alive. How you doing?
Well, I didn't know you were going to be here.
Yes, sir.
I'm so proud of you. So happy for you. It gives me joy to see you out there on the field doing your thing. You look good.
Appreciate you.
It's a good-looking ankle.
I'm trying to tell you.
Since 1968, we've been your trusted source for home comfort. From then to now, we've evolved, but our commitment to your comfort remains unchanged. Experience the expertise that only decades of dedicated service can provide. Trust Stanfield. We've been keeping homes comfortable for over 50 years. Your comfort, our legacy. Schedule online at stanfieldair.com.
The Moccasins have made their way back to the ice, and they've got work to do as the Rock Lobsters will start on the Paloma Park power play. Could be a huge start to the period to try and suck some of the energy out of a heavily attended game in Monroe. Garrett Milan, Trigby Miniguns, the two goal scorers between the two teams. The Rock Lobsters had a statement to make after having plenty of opportunities on the power play in Game 1 of this series. Could not net one in Game 1, but they have given Rock Lobster fans $3 tacos at Paloma Park. Remember, that deal is only available for 24 hours, so make sure you get your $3 tacos before your time is up. 20 minutes on the clock to start this second period. A new face in the Rock Lobster team today, Daniil Glukaryov. I think with a lot of special teams being played in the first period, we didn't really get to see much of him. Hopefully both teams can stay out of the box and maybe we can get some more eyes on the 24-year-old Russian. Ekholm Rosen, a big reason why this game is tied up at 1 apiece. He was a big reason why the game went to overtime on Thursday night. Can he stay hot after really only having played one game on the season before this series? We've got a face-off at center ice, and Milan wins it. Good start here, as we've got about a minute 45, I believe, on the power play. Shinkarik. Virgili to the left. Back to the captain, Garrett Milan. Malik Johnson. Milan. Shinkarik. Great pass. But losing out on the handle of it is Gallant. A 2-on-1 for Monroe. Great job by Milan to just keep sticking with that puck to prevent the easy pass over, which would have been a high percentage goal scoring chance for the Moccasins. Rock Lobsters dispossessed right on the blue line. Shinkarik fighting to get back. Noah Robinson tries the reverse hit. They've done a great job at shedding about a minute off of this power play. Shinkarik, drop pass. Milan, over to Virgili. Good shot block from the Moccasins. Shinkarik back over to the far side. Virgili is there. Has to play it quickly. Doesn't look like anybody knows where the puck is. Believe the whistle comes for offsides. Moccasins have shown a great penalty kill, even the first time these two teams met. Troy Murray flips one in. Trigby Miniguns trying to get himself loose from Rock Lobster pressure, but what he does do is end the power play for the Rock Lobsters. Puck dumped in with some great speed. Hunter Alden in the corner. Almost a stiff arm on his defender. Hunter Alden with some great play. Tries a backhand pass over to Picard. That's a partnership that's really lighting up right now. Picard with a pass through the edge of the crease. No one there to answer it. We want to make a shout out to Carol Milan. That's Mama Milan in the YouTube chat. Thank you for giving us the gift of Garrett, who is off to an electric start, who is very early on one of the best players in Athens Rock Lobster history. Really good spell here for Athens. Nothing to show for it just yet. Number 77 on the left side of your screen is Daniil Glukaryov. Can he get something done here? Monroe able to force the turnover. Their possession doesn't last long. Puck bouncing back and forth. Like a pendulum right now. Shinkarik. Shinkarik is just so good at finding the spaces in the ice where people are not. He's trying to take it coast to coast right now. Shinkarik finds Johnson. It's kicked in front of him for himself. Milan was looking back for Johnson. Robertson is there instead. Skates away from the boards. A pad save from Ekholm Rosen. A long period of play that has been unscoopered by a whistle for quite some time. Glukaryov with some great puck handling befitting of the European style, but he ends up getting dispossessed. Riley Robertson takes a smack at it, giving him a second chance to get to it before Koash does. Thought that one was a clearance. Think it's Malik Johnson who takes it all the way, gets tripped, ends up colliding into Ekholm Rosen. Looks like we'll take another look at that one. So Riley Robertson able to spin out of it. Glukaryov with a great pass. Not sure if it was intention to be a pass. Milan looked like he wanted the penalty as Bedard came through the back of Malik Johnson. This third line for the Rock Lobsters out to play. Matt Garcia tries to step up. He looks like he almost gets horse-collared there. Are we watching the Rock Lobsters or the Bulldogs right now? We've already seen one Athens team deal with a reptile today. Can we see two? Alden over the halfway line. Tries to wrist it towards Ekholm Rosen himself. Chris Hunt back for Garcia. Ocean Weisblatt from a great distance. Can he turn goal scorer with his brother out? He has to play some D here. Tight angle shot and a save from Rosenswag off of Chris Corrigan. A good friendship there between Matt Garcia and Josh Rosenswag, two of the youngest members of this Athens Rock Lobster team. Rosenswag, a 21-year-old, the youngest player of this FPHL squad. 15:07 on the clock. Virgili up against his countrymen on the face-off. Picard to Kolatarsi. Kolatarsi trying to pin the puck to the corner. Virgili takes his place. He's able to come out of it. Troy Murray. Gallant. He would love to get back in the goal-scoring ranks for the Rock Lobsters. Almost a trip there. Virgili stays on his feet. If he chooses to sell that one, Rock Lobsters might be going to the power play instead. He opts to try and score the goal himself. Virgili 2 goals on the year, but the best playmaker on this Rock Lobster team, besides Carter Shinkarik. A little bit of coast-to-coast action this time for the Moccasins. A block out in front of Rosenzweig's net. That one very, very close to troubling Rosenzweig. That one just wide. It was a great start for the Rock Lobsters, and now Monroe growing in to this matchup. Stefanini backhands it. Blake Anderson over the line. A good pass into the middle. A Moccasin behind the net tries to pop that one off the rear end of Rosenzweig and in. Glukaryov gives chase. A man who all of his pro experience has come in 3 years of Russia's third tier. Heavy check behind the net. Luckily, Riley Robertson quickly back up to his feet. A great pass into the slot. What a save, Rosenzweig! He's got some swagger to his game. I hope we see another replay of that, because that is one that needs to be seen to be believed. You cannot ask for a better space if you're a goal scorer. Right out in front, Declan Conway. It's Matthias Tellstrom, who was in the high slot, unleashes a laser. But Rosenzweig able to make the save, and Troy Murray back in the penalty box. He's a repeat offender that has taken us back to the Leslie Jones Law penalty kill. Strong, skilled, strategic defense. If that's what you need, give Leslie Jones Law a call. Before we go to the Moccasin Power Play, though, we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back with some Leslie Jones Law penalty kill action.
As a football player, my body is everything to me. When I got injured, I was worried about
my future in the game, but you and your team's expertise, care, and support reassured me from the start. I've been able to recover because of the quality care I received at Piedmont, and I am back playing at my full potential on the field. I can't thank you enough for what you've done for me, my family, and my future. Your help means the world to me, and I'll always be grateful for your part in keeping my dreams alive. How you doing?
Well, I didn't know you were going to be here.
Yes, sir.
I'm so proud of you. So happy for you. It gives me joy to see you out there on the field doing your thing. You look good.
Appreciate you.
It's a good-looking ankle.
I'm trying to tell you.
Meet our professional team, where the
Back in action here. 13:07 to go in the second period. Rock Lobster with a face-off win. Helped on its way by Malik Johnson. Garrett Mullane loses an edge. Rock Lobsters on the penalty kill. They've done well on the power play thus far, and a little tip out in front was a great opportunity, but ultimately easy for Rosenzweig to deal with. It's been immense of just how much Rosenzweig has made a lot look easy in the early start of his Athens Rock Lobster career. Has previous FPHL experience with the Watertown Wolves. Face-off wins even more crucial when you're down a man. It's backhanded all the way over to Ekholm Rosen. Minute 30 left on this Monroe power play. I asked the question in the YouTube chat, is that the save of the year thus far for the Rock Lobsters? Soccer Boy in the chat says yes. A really good move from Anderson, who's trying to find a window to shoot into. The Moccasins might find one. It's almost pushed in by the Rock Lobsters. Rosenzweig with another great save. Have you seen anyone who plays with as much swagger as Josh Rosenswag in the goaltender position, has to make a quick turnaround. Wow. Josh Rosenswag is one of those players whose plays look even better the second time you view him. Another face-off win for the Rock Lobsters, and they're able to clear out. Less than a minute to go on the man advantage for Monroe. It was Milan Magic that made the Moccasins mad in Monroe on Thursday night. And he is the difference maker thus far. Open the scoring. Koivuniemi tries to dance through a couple of crustaceans before it's eventually cleared out. Soccer Boy in the chat says 2 saves of the year back-to-back. Maybe. Looked like a little knee-on-knee there. And that is going to be a 5-on-3. Brandon Picard goes to the box. The discipline, admittedly, has been lacking for the Rock Lobsters in this game thus far. They've dealt with it somewhat well. Of course, it was the power play goal that led to the equalizer earlier on in this game, but you're asking for trouble when you go down 2-man. Alden, Shinkarik, and Robertson, the 3-man unit. 22 seconds of 5-on-3 power play. Schumacher unable to keep that one in. After the final 15 seconds of this 5-on-3, it'll be about a minute 38 of 5-on-4. Anderson's shot gets blocked. Rosenswag, I think, got something on that. Deflects it into the corner. Kyle Stevens now out in front of the net. Back to the blue line. Rock Lobsters get a man back. Anderson finds a great pass over. Makes it super easy for Koash to find the goal. He had thought that he had opened the scoring earlier on in this game. His goal got called off, but the Moccasins have their power play goal once again to make it 2-1 in favor of the hometown team. Scott Koash has bounced between the Fed and the SPHL since 2020. He's got his second goal of the year. Not much that he had to do besides just make the shot after a great pass over by Blake Anderson. When you have so much work to do on special teams, on the penalty kill, you run the risk of tiring your legs out, really, and having more work for yourself to do. And it feels like that's a lot of the reason the Moccasins are now 2-1 up. Chris Hunt, in a wrestling match, gets it to the corner. Matt Garcia almost made the step up, wisely thought of it. Dylan Hullaby with a great move to the net. Rosenswag makes another stop. Rosenswag has had some heroic saves in this one, but they can't count on that, can the Rock Lobsters, to put them in a position to win this game, especially now that they're down 2-1. Portillo's there, heavy hit. Whistle's blown. And the question, is there another penalty here? Trying to figure out the number on the back there. And it's Seth Bacon, who got wiped out and is helped back to the Monroe bench. Being checked on by the Monroe athletic trainer. Stoppage of play at 9:48. We came into this second period level at 1 apiece. We go to another media timeout here in Monroe. Monroe take the lead on the power play. 2 power play goals for them tonight have made the difference.
As a football player, my body is everything to me. When I got injured, I was worried about
my future in the game, but you and your team's expertise, care, and support reassured me from the start. I've been able to recover because of the quality care I received at Piedmont, and I am back playing at my full potential on the field. I can't thank you enough for what you've done for me, my family, and my future. Your help means the world to me, and I'll always be grateful for your part in keeping my dreams alive. How you doing?
Well, I didn't know you were going to be here.
Yes, sir.
I'm so proud of you. So happy for you. It gives me joy to see you out there on the field doing your thing. You look good.
Appreciate you.
It's a good-looking ankle.
I'm trying to tell you.
Back here in the third period, rather in the second period, excuse me. Feels like so much has happened in this second period that it's befitting of that. It's been a series that feels like it's had so much going on, whether it be the goal scored or whether it be the fights, whether it be the extracurriculars after what feels like every whistle. Little joust here in the corner. Power plays were something that neither team really did all that great in this first game of the series, but now it's been the narrative thus far. Rosenzweig makes the freeze at 9:08. Defensive zone draw for the Rock Lobsters. Virgili against Corgan. Virgili fights hard for it. Rock Lobsters need to start fighting for everything. Not literally. We don't need any more Rock Lobsters in the tank. Picard. Trying to find a new purpose for this puck after winning it back for the team. Troy Murray. A little bit of a dangle. Picard slaps it in. Ekholm Rosen helps it on for a teammate. Michael Hagan-Moe tried to palm it down, gets hassled in the process. Moe again. Bank pass off the backboards. Kolatarsi to Troy Murray. Plays it up for Virgili. Virgili into the offensive area. Loses an edge. Not sure if that one was a poke in his skate or not. Puck dumped in the opposite corner. Trigby miniguns. Puts the puck behind the net. Schumacher right into the 5-hole, which is then squeezed by the quads of Rosenzweig. The passing of this Moccasin team keeps getting better as their season progresses. They're able to find Schumacher with plenty of space. Could it finally be the day the Moccasins find their first win in regulation? Or once again, will the Rock Lobsters have something to say late on? It's been a trend here in Monroe for the Rock Lobster team. Garcia. Contact out in front. Hunter Alden was waiting on the doorstep. Back and forth hockey here with a little more than 7 minutes to go in the second period. Portillo able to drag the puck with him. Good passing play. Chris Hunt with the slapper just misses. That one into the netting to stop play, but what a great scoring opportunity generated by this third line. Justin Portillo waits for Hunter Alden, who has a great pass over to Chris Hunt. That one might have taken contact on the body out in front, meaning Ekholm Rosen didn't need to make the save. That's what you need to see more of, and here comes that money line. Daniil Glukaryov, the nearest Rock Lobster on your screen. He would love to make his debut with aplomb here. Can he get himself on the scoring? Potentially. Rock Lobsters will empty their net. Rosenzweig will make his way as the Rock Lobsters will go to the power play. Robertson over to Milan. Milan with a slapper. Malik Johnson was waiting for it. Able to get on it. Find Robertson at the blue line. Robertson from distance, and the Moccasins will be able to touch. And we go to the Paloma Park power play. The Rock Lobsters have already found a power play goal tonight through Garrett Milan. Because of that, through the FanSaves app, you can get your $3 tacos from Paloma Park for the next 24 hours. The Rock Lobsters made a statement on the first power play of the night. Can they do so once again with a man advantage and 6:24 left on the clock in the second period? Garrett Milan sacrifices his face-off spot for Malik Johnson. Can this power play unit light up the chat of our YouTube stream? Shinkarik, Virgili, Milan, back to the captain, back to the player coach, who wheels around. Number 14, Shinkarik, looking out at the play developing in front of him. Milan gets a pad save out of Ekholm Rosen with a slapper. Shinkarik over to Virgili. Quick passing, the name of the game here. Carter Shinkarik with an absolute laser of a slap shot, but it's saved by Ekholm Rosen. Garrett Milan saves it from being cleared out. Shinkarik, miscue of a pass over to his left for Virgili, but Malik Johnson's able to wheel it around for Milan. Shinkarik, once again. Virgili to Milan. Quick pass to Shinkarik. It's a goal! Carter Shinkarik is the master of unleashing a slapper from distance. And it's his goal that ties it up at 2 apiece. It felt like it was coming. The Rock Lobsters have yet another power play goal. It all came from this quick passing from these three men back. Virgili, Milan, the touch pass from the player coach to the captain. Wonder if that took some contact out in front from a different Rock Lobster. But right now, that looks like a Carter Shinkarik goal. The captain has been clutch. Has Carter this season. We'll take a look at the Federal Hockey scoring summary here in just a minute, but Claws up in the chat. Rock Lobsters have tied this up. Momentum now in the Rock Lobsters' favor. And right now the story has been the same as it was last night. Rock Lobsters take a 1-0 lead. Monroe scored 2 goals to make it 2-1. And now the Rock Lobsters have tied it up. The question will be, do we go to overtime again? Can the Rock Lobsters win it in regulation? Will Monroe get their first win in regulation? One thing's for sure, you do not want to tune off of this game right now. Lindsey Bornhurst with a claws up in the chat. one of the Rock Lobster staff who's joining us on the stream tonight. Chris Hunt leaves it for Ocean Weisblatt. Swings through the saloon door and dumps it in. Portillo, physical in the corner as always. Ocean Weisblatt is there. Riley Robertson as well. Long-range shot for him. Comes all the way around the boards. Drop pass, Milan to Shinkarik. Milan, tight range shot, blocked out in front. Another shot comes the way of Ekholm Rosen. It was Chris Hunt who was on the welcome mat of Ekholm Rosen's net. We'll see that chance once again. A great pass from Shinkarik to find Milan. And a quick pass over from Daniil Glukaryov to find Chris Hunt. 3:50 to go. And no doubt, it's been cardiac claws for the Rock Lobsters thus far. We'll go to a commercial break here.
Since 1968, we've been your trusted source for home comfort. From then to now, we've evolved, but our commitment to your comfort remains unchanged. Experience the expertise that only decades of dedicated service can provide. Trust Stanfield. We've been keeping homes comfortable for over 50 years. Your comfort, our legacy. Schedule online at stanfieldair.com.
Rock Lobster fans, if you have not secured your gear yet, now is the time. Head over to shop.rocklobstershockey.com today and gear up to show your Lobsters pride. Do not miss out. Get yours now. I know one thing's for sure. When I wear my red Rock Lobster t-shirt, either out on the town or into the gym, I'm getting those questions. Hey, man, what is that? Is that a local team? Is it a high school team? No, it's much more than that. It's the first ever pro hockey team for the great city of Athens, Georgia, and it is all coming to the Classic City in December 6th, the home opener for the Rock Lobsters. It is something that you do not want to miss. You want to be a part of this team and be a face of the franchise because it's all heating up in Athens right now. Money line back out. 3:51 to go in the second. I had a chance to talk to Philip Virgili after the last practice before the Rock Lobsters made it to Monroe. Glukaryov unable to take the puck with him. And he had a lot to say about what's overrated or underrated about Swedish culture. Garrett Milan, definitely not overrated. A great move to the net, reminiscent of his overtime goal from last night. Make sure you check out that interview with Virgili in the second intermission. Glukaryov trying to wriggle that puck free in the corner. A little push from Shinkarik. Johnson has it, backhands it, off the boards into Robertson. Garrett Milan literally just took my breath away with that move towards Ekholm Rosen. That puck through the neutral zone. No icing. Glukaryov able to fight for that puck and get it free. But here come the Moccasins in the other direction, moving east to west. Troy Murray down to a knee to try and defend that puck getting moved more centrally. Kolatarsi banks it off the boards to Murray. A player down on the ice with no helmet. That's Chris Corrigan. And a 2-on-1 developing here. Virgili, Gallant to the right. Gallant tries to push it in with the blade of the stick. Whistles blown as Ekholm Rosen made the stop on the hard skating run from Gallant to the net. We'll take another look. The 2-on-1 developed quickly, and Virgili, so adept with his quick skating and his vision on the ice. All it was lacking was the finish, and now this third line comes on to try and make something happen late on in this second period. Looks like this one's going to be an icing, and it is. Gallant so close to finding the lead here late on in the second period, and when you score this late on in a period, it really can swing the momentum fully in your favor. Feels like that's what the Rock Lobsters need with how well the Moccasins have played in this game, have played in this series. You have to really take your hat off to how Mo Levac has changed the outlook in the early going for the Moccasins. Call is hand pass on the whistle. Face-off happening right in front of the Athens bench. Won by the Moccasins, all the way back behind their net. Koivu Niemi with a quick step on the brakes. Trying to fight to get there, Noah Robinson. A good pass from Miniguns, but no one was there to receive it. Justin Portillo. Look at the Rockets on his skates right now. Looking for an option. Finds one at the blue line. Shot gets deflected, and you see the netting above the boards ripple. Above the glass, rather. Make sure you listen out for the Fan Saves trivia question of the night as well. We will have that for you when the third period starts. Monroe with a face-off win late on, but the Rock Lobsters have the puck back. Slapper from way on out. Shinkarik with a great hesitation step up, threw on the boards. Robertson makes a step up of himself. Slapped behind him, Milan retrieves. Wheels it around the end boards. Shinkarik almost got loose with that puck. Second bite of the cherry tastes a little bit better. Milan gets taken down. Can that spring something the other direction for the Moccasins? Almost played with a high stick. Kaysen Gallant over the blue line. Loses his handle. Definitely feels like this ice is in need of a Zamboni right now. Stoppage in play. 29.6 seconds left in this second period. There you look at Carter Shinkarik, the Athens Rock Lobster captain, first captain in franchise history. He was the goal scorer to make it 2-2. It looks like the Rock Lobsters are heading back to the power play. Ben Stefanini going into the sin bin for slashing. So the Rock Lobsters started the second period with a Paloma Park power play. Seems likely that they might do so in the third period as well. 30 seconds left in the second period to get something done on the man advantage. And there you see Kaysen Gallant talking to the referee, so close to making a 3-2 game as he received a pass on the doorstep from Philip Virgili, who once again we'll be hearing from in the second intermission. Josh Rosenswag has had back-to-back save of the year contenders, has the goaltender in this game. No surprise on who's out there for the power play. Gallant, Milan, Johnson. Behind them, I'm sure, is Shinkarik and Virgili. Back to Virgili. Shinkarik. Back to the Swede. Carter Shinkarik scored to make it 2-2. Garrett Milan unleashes a slapper in the near face-off circle. Is there a buzzer beater here for the Rock Lobsters? Not going to happen as that slapper from Milan goes off the glass. And we go into the second intermission. And once again, just as it was last night, it has been a very, very interesting second period. 4 power play goals between these two teams has been the storyline of this game thus far. After coming into the second period, tied at 1 apiece, Scott Koash at the 9:16 mark scored with a wrister. That's really all he had to do was just wrist shot that puck in after receiving a great pass from Blake Anderson. Great passing was also how the Rock Lobsters scored at 14:36. Quick, tape to tape. Garrett Milan, Philip Virgili before Carter Shinkarik with a slapper made it 2-2. And that's the story thus far. Philip Virgili with 2 assists tonight. That puts him at 10 assists on the year. We had a chance to talk with him at Wednesday practice. Let's see how that went. Matty and Rad here with Rock Lobster forward Philip Virgili. Philip, it's been an electric start to the season for you. How are you feeling on the ice right now?
I'm feeling great. We've been gelling really well with the guys pretty quick, which has helped our gameplay pretty easily. Just keep on rolling from our wins and keep building our program here.
You've really taken the breath away from some of the fans with your playmaking skills, your vision, your skating. For those who haven't seen you, how would you describe your style of play?
Definitely a hard-working playmaker who has the ability to score. Feed well off of others. If others work well and work hard, I'll find them.
You're the only non-North American on this team from the great nation of Sweden. Are there any Swedes that you feel you model your game after?
That's a great question. Not really. I feel like as of lately, playing a centerman, Henrik Zetterberg has always been a great player to kind of look at, hard worker, skilled guy. But Johan Franzen has always been a pretty gritty guy, so I've kind of based my play off of him a little bit. So.
The mule, yeah.
There you go, yeah.
I had a chance to talk to Case and Galan about the great chemistry that you guys have displayed in the early going. He said that it's easy to play with you because of the amount of speed that you have on the ice. What do you think it makes it easy for you to play with Case?
Oh, I would just say the exact same answer. He's a hungry young kid, and he's flying down the ice. So, he's finding the sweet spots, and it makes it easy for me to find him. Obviously he's got the scoring touch. So, yeah, it's just been working really well with us too.
Phil, with your native Malmo, Sweden, I'm sure people think of Andre Burakovsky, Rasmus Andersson, but many sports fans might have thoughts of soccer evoked by your hometown. I know you're a fan of your hometown football club. Were you as obsessed with Zlatan Ibrahimovic like so many Swedes for the last 25 years?
Oh, absolutely. It's a no-brainer right there. He's the god, right? He's the lion. It's been easy for me to kind of to watch soccer and all that home, seeing that our home team, have been Swedish Championship champions now for the last 4 years. But that's always been fun. And yeah, watching a guy like Ibrahimovic and his confidence, it's nice to kind of take that into hockey as well and kind of bring that in. He's a confident guy and it makes it easy for him to be a good player. And that's kind of bring that into hockey. So if you're confident, you play well.
You came to this country to play college hockey for Nichols College in Massachusetts. In a competition of what place is colder, who do you think wins, Sweden or Massachusetts?
Oh, I would definitely say Mass. It's somewhat similar weather, but it's just like a little more to the extreme. It's a little colder and a little hotter in the U.S.
What was it like to be a young man to move across the Atlantic to do what you love to do?
Oh, wow, I had no idea it was going to be that big of a change. But honestly, as soon as you kind of settled in and got comfortable there, it's the best decision I've ever made in my entire life. There's no doubt.
Phil, I want to play a little game with you. I'm going to give you a handful of things associated with Sweden. I want you to tell me if they're underrated or overrated, okay?
Okay, yeah.
First up, Swedish meatballs.
Oh, they're the best thing in the world.
So underrated?
So underrated, yep.
Next up, IKEA.
The best thing ever. Yep, underrated. Easily.
ABBA.
Oh, underrated. Best band there is, yeah, absolutely.
One the Americans might not know, Midsummer.
It's tough. I love Midsummer, honestly. And all my American friends, I want them to be able to experience it once. So I'm going to say, what was it?
Underrated or overrated?
Underrated, yep, underrated, yeah. Because it's just such a blast. And it brings dances and drinking and all that kind of stuff. So what's there not to like?
I was curious if maybe Swedes thought he turned their back on him, William Nylander.
Tough. Tough. Always love that guy. Skilled guy. Got a little conflicted when he had his little deal with the money situation. He didn't want to play, and but you know what? Still, kudos to him. Right? He's a great player, and it's always been fun to watch him dangle a couple guys. So especially, he's been huge for us in the World Cups and championships in the past. So nothing but love for him, I guess.
Last up, the Swedish royalty.
Oh, they're amazing, right? Like, I think we're one of the few countries left that kind of respects the royalty, right? I think it's like us in Britain. So yeah, I mean, they might not have the same power they used to do in the past, but they're inspiration for the Swedish people.
Thanks so much for taking the time, Phil.
Of course. Sorry.
Rock Lobster fans, can you not make every game? That's no problem. The Athens Rock Lobsters have made the FPHL aware of their arrival, and they're off to a hot start. Now's your perfect chance to pick the hottest matchups with our flexible mini plans. Whether it's weekend games, rivalry nights, or themed events, choose what works for you and be a part of the action. For more, visit rocklobstershockey.com/tickets. This broadcast of the Athens Rock Lobsters is brought to you by Piedmont Athens Regional. Real change lives here. Aikens Ford is the largest Ford dealership in Georgia. If you're going to trust anyone, why not trust the biggest and the best? Stanfield Air Systems, we've spent the last 50 years fulfilling Athens' HVAC needs. First American Bank and Trust, we specialize in you. And Terrapin Beer Company, do the right thing always. And that's got to be sipping on an ice-cold Clawshank redemption at the Terrapin Tap Room. Commercial break coming up right now, about 10 minutes away from third period action.
As a football player, my body is everything to me. When I got injured, I was worried about
my future in the game, but you and your team's expertise, care, and support reassured me from the start. I've been able to recover because of the quality care I received at Piedmont, and I am back playing at my full potential on the field. I can't thank you enough for what you've done for me, my family, and my future. Your help means the world to me, and I'll always be grateful for your part in keeping my dreams alive. How you doing?
Well, I didn't know you were going to be here.
Yes, sir.
I'm so proud of you. So happy for you. It gives me joy to see you out there on the field doing your thing. You look good.
Appreciate you.
It's a good-looking ankle.
I'm trying to tell you.
Since we opened in 1968, we've taken pride in our professional staff. Unparalleled customer service is our legacy. Experience the best, skilled hands and friendly faces. At Stanfield Air Systems, satisfaction is not just a guarantee, it's our tradition. Schedule online at stanfieldair.com.
This broadcast is also brought to you by FanSaves. Make sure to download the FanSaves app to access exclusive deals from our partners. For example, you could log in now and you can get a free basket of fries from Farm Burger. Or go ahead and claim your $3 tacos that were earned by the Rock Lobsters with their power play goal tonight. Download FanSaves and follow the Athens Rock Lobsters to check out the Rock Lobsters digital coupon book. Rock Lobsters tying this one 2-2 going into the third period. Everything has been power play goals for both teams thus far. Garrett Milan got it started at the 5:28 mark of the first period. A quick wraparound that was a beauty to behold. Trigby Miniguns got one of his own just about a minute later as the Rock Lobsters went down a man because of unsportsmanlike conduct. And then Scott Koash got the scoring started in the second period for the Moccasins. A really, really good wrist shot, but really Scott Coash, would have been more difficult for him to miss the net than it would be for him to hit the back of it, as Blake Anderson had a great pass to set him up. Great passing, a part of the Rock Lobsters' second goal as well, between Garrett Milan, Philip Virgili, and Carter Shinkarik. Carter Shinkarik put a punctuation mark on that move with a slapper, his third of the season, and also his 15th point of the year as well. So that's how we got here in the second intermission, minutes away from third period action, and this game needs a winner. It's going to take overtime like it did last night. We'll find out. Stay tuned here with us on the Athens Rock Lobster Network. Have an opportunity to thank some of our sponsors that make us playing in the FPHL possible. A big thank you to Athens Area Urology. You're in good hands with Athens Area Urology. Plumber Pro, Hospitality South. Rock Lobsters would also like to thank Athens Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Classic City Flats, Harmon Enterprises, Roto-Rooter, Aero Exterminators, Northeast Distributing Company, Aegis Trust Company, De Palma's Italian Cafe, Leslie Jones Law, the sponsor of our penalty kill, Porterhouse Grill, Farm Burger, Fox's Pizza, and 23 Design. Make sure you stay tuned here on the Athens Rock Lobster Network, and why don't you hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. That helps us with our metrics, and it also helps us get up our subscriber count. And we're trying to hit the 500 subscriber mark, so please help us out in that goal. And also, it gives you a chance to converse with the rest of the Rock Lobster fans in our YouTube chat. Hopefully, there'll be plenty to chat about in the third period. Rock Lobsters currently in a tie 2-2 after 2 periods. back here in the Monroe Civic Center as we're getting ready to start out this third period between the Rock Lobsters and the Monroe Moccasins. Third period on Thursday night was scoreless, but the Rock Lobsters have a good opportunity to go out in front as we see the referees making their return to the ice. Rock Lobsters will start this third period on the Paloma Park power play. Going to be very, very interesting to see what they can do with a minute 31 left on the man advantage. All 4 goals in this contest scored by both teams have been on the power play. It is now time for our Fan Saves trivia question of the night. Very early on in our season, we had some intermission interviews with players like Justin Portillo, Carter Shinkarik, Joe Colatarsi, among others. And there were some fun facts that we got to share with some of the players. Our Fan Saves trivia question of the night is which Rock Lobster had their car stolen 3 times in their life? Which Rock Lobster had their car stolen 3 times tonight? Answers in the chat. We'll shout out the winner. Things are getting wavy in the Monroe Civic Center. Mind you, that benefits lobsters a lot more than it does snakes. Also in the chat tonight, Carol Milan, Mama Milan as she's known. We appreciate her coming and joining us in the YouTube chat tonight, as well as giving us the gift of Garrett. Garrett Milan with his 9th goal of the year to get the scoring started tonight. Monroe Civic Center is rocking in downtown Monroe, but the Rock Lobsters have been known to quieting this crowd. Let's see if they're able to do so tonight. Josh Rosenzweig has had a tremendous game tonight. It felt like Ekholm Rosen was really the writer of the narrative last night. But the Rock Lobster goaltender who made his return the last game he played, coming against Monroe in the first weekend of the season. And he has made a couple of save of the year contenders tonight in Monroe. It feels like if the Rock Lobsters are going to win this game, he's going to have to be just as electric in the third period here. Not seeing any guesses yet to the Fan Saves trivia question of the night. If some of you are just coming back to your screens, you didn't hear it, we'll read it again. Which Rock Lobster, according to our early player interviews on the broadcast, which were listened to in Monroe the first weekend, which Rock Lobster has had his car stolen 3 times? The Moccasins make their way back to the ice, led by Ekholm Rosen. He was no doubt a leader last night, standing tall and having a confident game, which was something he didn't have the last time these two teams met. Lauren Smith with the correct answer in the chat. Thank you very much. Justin Portillo had his car stolen 3 different times. And I tell you what, I'm not someone who often commits Grand Theft Auto, but if I was, the last person I would try to commit it on is the brick you-know-what house that is Justin Portillo. Rock Lobster fans, bring your crew and enjoy the excitement. The Athens Rock Lobsters are soon to make their arrival in the Classic City, and it will be the perfect time for a group outing. Enjoy discounted rates, block seating, and exclusive experiences. Perfect for businesses, schools, or youth teams. Rally your group and be part of the action today. For more, visit rocklobstershockey.com/groups. Both teams skating around before the start of this third period. If the hockey gods are listening, you would love to see Daniil Glukaryov in his very first game ever in the United States rifle one in to secure the win for the Rock Lobsters. Could it happen tonight? Making his FPHL debut, his United States debut. Last season he had 5 goals, 13 assists with Dynamo Alte Bernal in Russia, his native Russia. Getting a look at the Rock Lobster bench. A chance for Athens to take the lead here as they start on the Paloma Park power play. And we are underway. Rosenzweig plays it for Virgili, who's taken down. Shinkarik over the line. Gallant on the far side has taken the place of Orca Weisblatt on the power play. Milan working from the blue line finds Shinkarik. A soft wrister. Malik Johnson with a backhand pass. Kaysen Gallant was there in waiting, but didn't get to that puck in time. Rosenzweig leaves it for Shinkarik. Less than a minute to go now on the power play. Milan skating right in front of the penalty box. Milan with a great pass to the right, but misses Kaysen Gallant. Shinkarik so analytical, looks almost like a robot the way that he evaluates his options. In the power play, unleashes a slapper, looking for his second power play goal of the night. Shinkarik again, 30 seconds to go. Shinkarik. Milan. Good block out right in front of the shot from Milan. Good pass from Shinkarik, but Kaysen Gallant can't get anything on it. Able to shepherd that puck over to Milan. Shinkarik. Milan. Slapper. Puck loose out in front. Puck still loose, but the whistle comes. The puck was still loose out in front. Paul Jean with the early whistle there. Couple of verbal exchanges there between Virgili and Trigvi miniguns. We'll take another look there. I don't know how the side of the puck is ever lost there. Just 2 seconds left on the power play. Alden wins the faceoff. Troy Murray from way on out there. Another save forced out of Ekholm Rosen. Dangerous there as Monroe spring a man out of the penalty box. Rock Lobsters able to mitigate that, though. Drop pass from Hagen Moe. Here he comes again. Rosenzweig, I think, got a glove to it, but couldn't get it in that glove. This one's over his head. Looks like we've got a whistle here. That one must have gone into the netting above the glass because it's a face-off right in front of Rosenzweig's net. Rosenzweig's first start since the last game here in Monroe. Jack Bossett has been starting in his place. Really quick wrist shot and a great save from Rosenzweig on Blake Anderson. Blake Anderson still looking for his first point. Rather, his first goal. He got his first point earlier on tonight on the great pass on the power play for Coash. He's got the face-off to deal with now against Milan. Won by Milan. Helped on its way. Glukaryov, Milan. Still Milan, and a save from Ekholm Rosen. It's not often you see players confident enough in their slap shot to release it as they almost produce a near breakaway. Garrett Milan is that type of player. He has that kind of creative mind that you want out of a player that is at the center of your top line. Offensive zone draw here. The new look money line. Malik Johnson, Garrett Milan, and Glukaryov. Johnson fighting for all he's worth. It's lifted away from him by Elmer Oscarson. Riley Robertson tries the first-time slapper. Milan gets there first. Looking for an option. Tries to get it to the Russian. Glukaryov fighting in the back of a Moccasin. Comes out with the puck. Robertson again. Just misses high and wide. And the Moccasins are able to collect their thoughts. Rister blocked out in front. Shot came from Helmer Oscarson. Virgili takes the hip check. And I think that's an interference. The hip check came after the dump in from Virgili, and right after they started this period with the power play, the Rock Lobsters will go on another one. That's some Swede-on-Swede crime there. Kalukoivu Niemi sends the Rock Lobsters back to the Paloma Park power play. Garrett Milan stops that puck from being cleared out. Back to Shinkarik. This power play has been a lot more fun to watch for the Rock Lobsters tonight. The slapper from Milan went off the boards behind the net right back at Gallant, who didn't get a clean look at it. Good early opportunity. Feels like after our talks with head coach Steve Martinson earlier on in the week that the plan here is to try and get more and more pucks on the net on the power play. That has worked thus far tonight. Garrett Milan trying to test Ekholm Rosen once again. Ekholm Rosen has passed multiple tests this week as we take another look. I wish there was some sort of competition to check who has the most stellar wrist shot on this Athens team between Garrett Milan and Carter Shinkarik. Both of them know about last-second wins in this building. Paul Jean kicks out Oscarson. Trigby Miniguns comes in to take the draw. Milan able to win it. Captain Carter. Virgili back to Carter Shinkarik. Milan in a good area, a little bit of hesitation before eventually finding the shot. And now here comes a one-on-one. Garrett Milan able to use his speed to get to Miniguns, who's left frustrated. able to shed some crucial seconds off the power play here as Milan wriggles one free. Gallant tries to carry it over the halfway line. Ben Stefanini trying to look for a man in gray and gold. Under a minute to go now on the Paloma Park power play. Could it happen here? Milan with Johnson to his left, kicks it to himself, tries to squeeze it through the 5-hole of Ekholm Rosen. Nothing doing there for the Rock Lobsters on a great 2-on-1 opportunity. Ekholm Rosen might be the man going forward for Mo Levac. Making a save in this kind of situation is exactly the reason why he gets it in the glove on the shot from Johnson. 44 seconds to go, and here comes the second unit for this power play. The second unit has been contributing on the power play this year. Hunter Alden with a wrister saved by Ekholm Rosen. Troy Murray couldn't slap that one down. Hunter Alden over the line. A wrister from Chris Hunt. Ekholm Rosen feels like he's had 5, 6, maybe 7 saves on this power play alone. 10 seconds left. Can the Rock Lobsters generate one more rush? Man out of the box. Alden into the area. Back for Shinkarik, a nice initial move. Puck takes some contact. That one's off the bar. So close to going in. How did it not? Shinkarik into the side netting. Best opportunity for the Rock Lobsters comes right after the power play is over. Laser wrister. Where did that one go? Hunter Alden bats one off the ice. Great move from Shinkarik. Quick thinking from Chris Hunt, the turnaround chance. Chris Hunt thought he scored. He wheeled around to celebrate. Chris Hunt was hungry for the goal, but doesn't happen on the period right after the power play for the Rock Lobsters. We take a commercial break. 13:59 to go. Still a tie game at 2-2.
As a football player, my body is everything to me. When I got injured, I was worried about
my future in the game, but you and your team's expertise, care, and support reassured me from the start. I've been able to recover because of the quality care I received at Piedmont, and I am back playing at my full potential on the field. I can't thank you enough for what you've done for me, my family, and my future. Your help means the world to me, and I'll always be grateful for your part in keeping my dreams alive. How you doing?
Well, I didn't know you were going to be here.
Yes, sir.
I'm so proud of you. So happy for you. It gives me joy to see you out there on the field doing your thing. You look good.
Appreciate you.
It's a good-looking ankle.
I'm trying to tell you.
Back here for action in this third period. This game needs a winner. We don't know who it's going to be just yet. Glukaryov behind the net. Could it be him? Finds Milan in a high slot. Milan somehow gets to that puck. Glukaryov with a great pass towards Johnson. Puck still loose. Glukaryov again, and his shot gets blocked. Glukaryov gets to that dump in first from Monroe. Johnson through to Shinkarik. Shinkarik takes some time. Hunter Alden takes a check from Bacon. Justin Portillo looking for a goal. You know how bad he wants one. as his effort goes into the netting. Portillo looking for his first goal of the year. 12:58 to go in regulation. Will it take more than that to find a winner again tonight? Garrett Milan with the overtime winner made a great move on a D-man and a wrister to beat Ekholm Rosen up high. Blake Anderson can't take it past Ocean Weisblatt. Good pass. Garcia, the D-man, has stepped up to help out the attack. Really feels like this game has settled after it started very physically. Remnants of the game on Halloween night. And here we go. Kyle Stevens trying to rile up Justin Portillo. Second line has been a good one for the Rock Lobsters this season. Virgili, Picard, and Kaysen Gallant. Picard has fit like a glove since coming in to this team, playing his first games in Blue Ridge. Face-off initially won by Monroe. Tricky puck to deal with out in front. Hagen Moe unleashes a wrister wide of the mark. Loose puck out in front and it's buried. Or is it? The goal lamp came on. Swore the goal lamp came out. We'll take another look at that one. It looks like the Rock Lobsters are going to the penalty box for a cross-check, which came against Murray. Another example of us thinking, how did that puck not go in? Still spells trouble for the Rock Lobsters as they go back to the Leslie Jones Law penalty kill. Strong, skilled, strategic defense. Troy Murray has been a repeat offender tonight. Be good. But if you can't be good and you get called, call Leslie Jones. Face-off win. Koash to his left. Kyle Stevens. Pass took a tip before it reached out to the far side. Big opportunity to make something happen and bring the Monroe Civic Center to their feet. Anderson. Malik Johnson almost intercepts that pass. Sent up the boards. 45 seconds gone in this power play. Schumacher has to play it with his skate. Quick shot, a quick release from a tight angle. Generally, somewhat a new rink. This building has been used for hockey for quite some time, but it feels like the ice still quite new to the point where the moorings maybe haven't been set in enough. We've seen a lot of goaltender movement very easily move the net off. I think Carter Shinkarik trying to make that same point. 109 currently watching the stream right now. Thank you all, Crustacean Nation, for tuning in tonight. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the Athens Rock Lobster YouTube page. We're trying to make it to 500 subscribers. Minute 4 left in this man advantage. Linesman not happy. I don't think Carter Shinkarik happy either with how many players have been kicked out of face-off circles tonight, really for both teams. Face-off won by the Mocs. Fake slapper pass into the high slot. Shot goes into the netting. Good kill thus far from the Rock Lobsters. We see the fake slapper into the pass, into the high slot, and Helmer Oscarson's shot takes a deflection into the netting. Stefanini able to bat it back. The puck's in play. For some reason, we're looking at a young man with his shirt off. We see a slapper from Declan Conway, missing just wide on Rosenzweig. Cleared out, and it's getting down to crunch time as we near the halfway mark of this third period. 18 seconds to go on the man advantage for the Moccasins. The Rock Lobsters trying to take care of business in neutral ice. Hunter Alden has a slight edge, and then he'll take the penalty. That's huge there from number 22. He was our impact player of the night. He's got himself on the score sheet, and now we go to a very, very, very quick 4-on-4. Will be just 4 seconds on the 4-on-4. Hunter Alden. I think he gets his stick held there by Kali Koivuniemi. So we'll have 4 seconds of 4-on-4 play before we go to the Paloma Park power play. Troy Murray's out. Carter Shinkarik. He's been the quarterback, as Steve Martinson describes him, of this first power play unit. You can call that a slight fumble, though. Quarterback has to go and retrieve it. He gets dispossessed quickly, though. The Rock Lobsters have the puck back in their grasp. Still more than a minute to go, but a lack of cohesiveness through the neutral zone as the Rock Lobsters try to make an entry cleanly on this power play. Hasn't happened yet. Minute left in the man advantage. The forecheck from Malik Johnson opens things up for Virgili, who's taken down Milan. No one there at the blue line. Was hoping Shinkarik would be there. 45 to go. Rock Lobsters looking for their third power play goal of the night. Fifth between both teams. Long shot from Troy Murray. Takes contact out in front, depriving it from tickling the twine past Ekholm Rosen. Dumped back in. Picard backhands it to behind the net. Chris Hunt pokes at it. Hunter Alden can't get it free. And it's lofted. Just 10 seconds left. The Rock Lobsters looking to recycle the puck quickly. Chris Hunt through the legs of a player. And we have got 8 minutes about to find a winner in regulation here, but the Rock Lobster power play is over. Picard. Twitch a play. Kolatarsi was there, otherwise it would have been danger. Windmills backhands it up the boards. Picard and Alden trying to collapse in on this puck. Scott Koash forces a glove save out of Rosenzweig. Rosenzweig looks like he's in line to be one of the top 3 stars of the night. Chat, you've got a say in this as well. Who are your current 3 stars of the night? Of course, a lot of it is going to come down to who wins this game And if it's the Rock Lobsters, who is the decider in this matchup? We're going to take another commercial break here. 7:38 left in regulation. Monroe Moccasins 2, Rock Lobsters 2. Stay tuned here. We've got to find a winner in this one.
Since we opened in 1968, we've taken pride in our professional staff. Unparalleled customer service is our legacy. Experience the best, skilled hands and friendly faces. At Stanfield Air Systems, satisfaction is not just a guarantee, it's our tradition. Schedule online at stanfieldair.com.
As a football player, my body is everything to me. When I got injured, I was worried about
My future in the game, but you and your team's expertise, care, and support reassured me from the start. I've been able to recover because of the quality care I received at Piedmont, and I am back playing at my full potential on the field. I can't thank you enough for what you've done for me, my family, and my future. Your help means the world to me, and I'll always be grateful for your part in keeping my dreams alive. How you doing?
Well, I didn't know you were going to be here.
Yes, sir.
I'm so proud of you. So happy for you. It gives me joy to see you out there on the field doing your thing. You look good.
Appreciate
It's
you.
a good-looking ankle.
I'm trying to tell you.
$7:35 to go in regulation. The Rock Lobsters will hope that it won't take overtime again to beat the Moccasins. They want all 3 points out of this one. The Moccasins definitely want all 3 points out of this one. They're looking for their first regulation win of the year. Just one shootout win, and then the 2 points, rather the 1 point that they received from taking the game to overtime last night. Not much separating these two teams right now. That's what makes it exciting. Blake Anderson wheeled around, good save. Rosenswag deflects it to behind the net. Really good pass back for Charlie Bedard. Rister is wide. Rather takes a block out of Rosenswag. That one just saved from going out. Stefanini takes it into the corner. Puck behind the net. Poke checked out by Johnson. Rosenswag backhands it to Robertson. It's flipped up, and that one looks like it's going to be a penalty at first viewing. Did that one take a deflection before it went into the seats? Young man in the crowd gets a souvenir. He looks pumped up about it. Ty Benton says he got his Rock Lobster jersey the other day. It's another look at that save from Rosenswag. We might have to go back and get a quick compilation of Rosenswag saves on the night. Might be easier said than done. Maybe our friend Steven Turner, friend of the show, might be able to help us out with that one. A couple of highlight reel saves on the night for the 21-year-old. It's something that you have to remind yourself just how young he is. And it looks like it's going to be a delay of game call. Riley Robertson, I thought, was the propagator there of that delay of game, but Brandon Picard will sit. Dangerous here. A Monroe power play as the Rock Lobsters head to the Leslie Jones Law penalty kill once again tonight. A lot of penalties, which was a big part of the story on Thursday night. Kyle Stevens, his pass gets a tip on it. Kesa Gallant able to spring it free. Kesa Gallant and the goaltender, just those two. Kesa Gallant just misses to the right. A big, big opportunity for Gallant to take the lead shorthanded. And now the Rock Lobsters have to get numbers back. Good defensive play to get that puck cleared out. And the Moccasins will go again. The Rock Lobster penalty kill cannot afford to place any step wrong. They've done well thus far. Minute 5 to go on the penalty kill for them. Koivuniemi. Pass gets intercepted by Milan, who clears it out. Little reset here on the man advantage for the Moccasins. Rosenzweig able to shimmy around the net, get to the puck. In crunch time, this is probably the worst that the Moccasin power play has looked tonight. And I only say that because it's a power play that's looked very good tonight. 25 seconds to go on the man advantage. We take a look at what's next for the Moccasins. They head to Michigan to take on Motor City Rockers. And they'll complete a 4-game road trip to take on the Carolina Thunderbirds. Return home on November 2nd to take on the Mississippi Sea Wolves. Rather, on December 2nd. I feel like that's probably what that means. Maybe a little graphic mistake there. Ty Benton mentioned in the chat that he's got his Rock Lobster jersey in the mail the other day. Rock Lobster fans, if you have not secured your gear yet, now is the time. Head over to shop.rocklobstershockey.com today and gear up to show your Lobster's pride. Do not miss out. Get yours now. Look at that wonderful line there. A couple of great options, a hat, a puck, something that says Rock Lobsters on it, because you know you do not want to show up to the first home game on December 6th in the new Aikens Ford Arena and not have some Rock Lobster swag on to cheer on your new favorite team. Right now, oozing Rock Lobster swag tonight has been Josh Rosenzweig. A big reason why the scoreline is what it is. A quick rip right off the face-off from Carter Shinkarik. Still on the penalty kill. And Monroe on the icing on the power play, interestingly enough. So that forces a great offensive zone draw for the Rock Lobsters. And Shinkarik tries to make certain that the power play will drift towards its end for Monroe. Brandon Picard out of the box. Still an opportunity arises for the Moccasins. Quick redirect out in front. And another stoppage. What's happening this time? It looks like the net is off its moorings once again. Not sure what's contributing to that difficulty. Again, it's been a while since the Monroe Civic Center has had to prepare their building for hockey. A lot of new teams in the Fed over the last 2 years. Still some learning experiences for everyone. I know that I'm a part of that as well. Now 4 minutes to go in regulation here. Brandon Picard, fresh out the box. Great pass. Virgili. Puck loose out on the near side. Brandon Picard tries to get there. Troy Murray getting hassled by Hullaby. Game being played on a knife's edge right now. Picard swats at it. Rosenzweig able to make a crucial stop. And right now, every stop is crucial. Trying to poke that one through the 21-year-old was Chris Corrigan. Take another look. Don't think we got a great view at it. That one goes right past Murray. Looks like it might have actually been Matthias Tellstrom who was closest to scoring there. One thing's for sure, we are coming to a thrilling end here. Chris Hunt able to make the pass from one knee. Justin Portillo takes it into the corner for himself. Chris Hunt with a quick wrister. Falls out in front of Hunter Alden. Carter Shinkarik with a slapper from long distance. Misses the net. Chris Hunt tries the wraparound. Loses an edge on his skate. Justin Portillo, a bundle of energy as always, but he has been hungry to get in on the scoring for the Rock Lobsters as Rosenzweig makes the save on the wrister from Koash. Just kind of opened up there on the quick pass toward Koash. Rosenzweig, so good with the glove tonight. Both goaltenders playing a part once again for the Rock Lobsters. A couple days ago it was Jack Bostedt. Now it's Josh Rosenzweig. Ekholm Rosen in his second game of the season on Thursday had his best performance of the year, looking that he's carrying it on into this performance on Saturday. Kolatarsi up for Johnson. Settles it. Lofts it into neutral ice. Glukaryov unable to get there. Really favorable bounce here for the Moccasins. And that one, I think, came off of Stefanini. Even the second shot rattled off his back, I think, as he fell to the ice. Milan, can he be the hero once again? A shot from Shinkarik is over the crossbar. Someone wipes out on the near boards. A slapper. Rosenzweig makes the stop once again on Anderson. My goodness gracious. It is a nervy game right now. We see the slapper once again from Blake Anderson, who registered his first point with a great pass to Koash on a power play in the second period. He's now looking for his first goal of the year. Little anagram of numbers here. Chris Corrigan, 71, going up against Virgili, 17. Josh Rosenzweig able to direct that. And Rosenzweig down on the ice. Couple of extracurriculars right out in front of the net. I think it's Hagen Moe and Riley Robertson staring each other down. Less than 2 minutes to go now. Clock on the Monroe stream reads 1:53. I'm still surprised we haven't seen anyone drop the gloves with the temperature that this series has had. Residuals that come all the way back from the very first weekend of the season. Virgili with a good face-off win. Shinkarik slaps at it. Took an awkward bounce. You could hear the fans cheer on the Monroe broadcast. Luckily, I think it's because someone was able to grab the puck. I was hoping it's not going to be another delay of game. No, play will resume. 5 apiece. But we're a minute 42 away from seeing 3 apiece in an overtime period. Virgili able to take that puck with him initially. It drops back for Robertson, who can only play the puck behind the blue line. Dumps it in, avoids the offside. Around the near boards. Pass isn't what Monroe was hoping it would be. Casey Gallant, patient, but his wrister is wide of the target. Casey Gallant has had some tremendous opportunities in this game. He's down on his haunches as he knows it. We'll take another look. Shinkaruk, a bank pass off the boards in front of the penalty box. Casey Gallant waits, evades the stick of Schumacher. All that was missing was the finish. Shinkaruk, slapper, just wide, almost bounced back in front of the net. Minute of play remaining. Alden, Kolatarsi, Shinkaruk. Milan walks the tightrope on the near boards, takes a spill in the corner. "40 seconds to go. Oscarson. Trigby miniguns, tries to put it into the crease. And now here we go the other way. Milan. Can he be Super Milan once again? He takes a couple sticks, reaches it to the end boards, wheels it around for Kolatarsi. Milan fighting for position. Chris Hunt tries to backhand it back towards the blue line. Seconds to go. Johnson out in front. Milan. Chris Hunt. Where's that puck? Garrett Milan. Kolatarsi. Kolatarsi again. Misses wide. Oh, my God. What an end to this regulation for the Rock Lobsters, but it's going to take overtime once again to find out who is going to leave the Monroe Civic Center tonight with multiple points. A reminder that an overtime winner is good enough for 2 points. Overtime loser gets 1. Garrett Milan was Super Milan in the overtime period on Thursday night. Can he do so once again? We're going to 5 minutes of overtime play. If that doesn't separate these two sides, we are going to the first shootout of Rock Lobster history. You are not going to want to miss a thing. Stay tuned here on the Athens Rock Lobster Network. We're taking another look at Garrett Milan's overtime winner, and it was a special one. Put a great move on a defender before it was just him, and Ekholm Rosen laces a wrister into the top corner. We are in the 11th hour, ladies and gentlemen, and we have got free hockey in the Monroe Civic Center. For those of you who are new, in the FPHL, we get 5 minutes of 3-on-3 overtime. If that's not enough to find a winner, then we will go to a shootout. Some special rules in the FPHL shootout. After the first 3 shooters, the coaches can play, or rather have someone shoot as many times as they want after that. Be interesting to take another look at the 3-on-3 units for these two teams. Fans are getting hyped up over free hockey in the MCC. Virgili and Casey Gallant, along with Joe Kolatarsi, Virgili and Gallant has been one of the very best partnerships in the FPHL this year. Something to think about is the quality of the ice, because no Zamboni between the third period and the overtime. Virgili, always silky with his skating. Takes it behind the net. Trying to look for some sort of opening to get it to a teammate. Finds Gallant. Gallant forced back out even though an opportunity was there as a Moccasin had lost their stick. Gallant on the second try gets it to Virgili. Kolatarsi. Virgili on the doorstep. Puck still loose, and eventually Ekholm Rosen able to get it into his grasp. A good start for this unit of Virgili, Gallant, and Kolatarsi. We'll take a look here. Virgili with a good drop pass to Kolatarsi. Virgili tried to sweep it under the rug of Ekholm Rosen. Here was the unit that was a winner on Thursday night. Milan, Shinkarik, and Johnson. He has been Super Milan thus far. He is in line to be the first star tonight. Potential 2-on-1 here. Moccasins hold on to it. Helmer Oscarsson. Trygve Manyguns. Back to Oscarsson. And Johnson forces him out. Trygve Manyguns had his first goal of the year earlier on in this game. Passes it behind him to behind the Rosenzweig net. This unit has been on for quite a while. Milan will change. Picard now out there with Alden. Good step from Blake Anderson. Kicked out, and here come the Rock Lobsters. Brandon Picard by himself, though, and kicks it back. Alden up for Picard. Picard loses an edge temporarily, back up to his feet. Great return pass from Alden. Picard with 2 shots on the net, can't bury it. More great saves from the Swede, Ekholm Rosen. Really good opportunity for the Moccasins, bearing down in on goal. Wondering why he's not getting a call there is Declan Conway. Perhaps the best opportunity of the overtime period falls there for the Moccasins. Rosenzweig trying to get his bearings, and we'll take another look at it. Declan Conway playing a part here. And this was the return pass between Alden and Picard. Picard with 2 swings at it. Couldn't bury it. Are we going to see our first shootout in Rock Lobster history? Stefanini trying to track down that puck. Kolatarsi pins him to the boards. Gallant, bank pass, up for Virgili. Virgili, patient. Wrister. Doesn't get it clean first time to Ekholm Rosen, but there's a second time for everything, if you will. Virgili wants to be the hero, no doubt wants to score on his fellow countrymen and Ekholm Rosen as well. We saw those two jawing at each other in the game Thursday night. Could this be the moment here? Super Milan, Carter Shinkarik, and Malik Johnson. 2 minutes to go in overtime. Couple of pokes from Milan against Schumacher. Manyguns over the blue line. Great save with the glove from Rosenzweig. How many times have we said that tonight? He has more than played his part in this game in his return from the injury reserve. We'll take another look. Looks like it's Helmer Oscarson. Sometimes the best pass is a shot. I think that's what he was trying there. Schumacher was waiting there for a potential bobble from Rosenzweig. Never came his way. No doubt Rock Lobster fans at home watching and figuring it out that the Rock Lobsters are in the overtime period. We are up to 134 viewers in the chat. If you're just joining us, make sure you like the stream, subscribe so you can be a part of the chat. We're trying to make it to 500 subscribers. We are up to nearly 430 tonight. A big thank you to everyone who's tuned in, not just tonight, but all season long. The best part of the start of this season for me as a broadcaster and for us as a team have been you, the community, the viewers at home, and we know that you're going to pack out the Classic City, rather the Aikens Ford Arena in the Classic City when that time comes in December 6th. We can't wait to meet you. Until then, the fish to fry is here, or rather the snake to fry. Garrett Milan in the face-off circle. He wins it. Shinkarik wheels away. Shinkarik is so good at generating speed from a standstill behind the net. Milan takes it past Johnson. Tight angle shot. Johnson tries the wraparound, but he gets taken down. Rock Lobsters with numbers forward, and it could spell trouble here. Another great save, Rosenzweig. He is playing out of his mind right now. His glove must have a puck magnet in it. Kalu Koivuniemi is thinking to himself, what do I have to do? What do I have to do? It's just me and the goaltender, and you still can't beat him. Sounds like there's some debate in the chat. I'm pretty sure they had a shootout last week and lost. Not sure if you're talking about Monroe or the Rock Lobsters. Ty Ben says, I agree, Robert. It was Rock Lobsters' first loss. The first loss and only loss for the Rock Lobsters came in regulation. Looks like Garrett Milan just left the ice. Trying to figure out here. I'm taking a quick listen. Joe Robb is correct. The loss came in regulation 3-1 against Danville. And now everybody's question is what happened to Garrett Milan? We saw him leave the ice there. Offside call. Trigby Miniguns leaving the ice as well. We have already seen one member of the first line get injured in this series. It looked like Garrett Milan was leaving the ice briskly under his own power, so hopefully it's nothing to worry about there. Kaysen Gallant. Wow, what a great move. Kaysen Gallant gets it back to his forehand. A save from Ekholm Rosen. Oh, my goodness. Heavy hit. And now it's a 3-on-2. Now it's a 2-on-2, rather. Alden, from his backhand, tries to find Kolatarsi. Just misses him. Rosenzweig. Up the boards, dangerous play. The Rock Lobsters just get away with it. Alden has to be careful here. And I'm being told through the federalhockey.com it was a penalty inciting an opponent misconduct for Garrett Milan. Wrister is well high. Believe the period has ended, and we have got a shootout. My goodness. Going to be interesting. 10-minute misconduct for Trigby miniguns and Garrett Milan. That definitely hurts the Rock Lobsters a lot more than it does Monroe, as Milan would be a special weapon to have in this kind of circumstance. Monroe have a shootout win to their name, and it came 2 games ago against Baton Rouge, their cross-state foe. We're going to take a quick message and be right back here for the beginning of the shootout. No, we'll stay here. We'll stay here. We're taking a look. Something that can lead you to be positive about the shootout here for the Rock Lobsters is how good Josh Rosenzweig has been on 1v0s in this game tonight. He's been so elite with the glove. Can that carry into a shootout? And with Garrett Milan no longer a part of the picture in this game, can the Rock Lobsters take the win without their player coach, who is the top of the FPHL goal charts, top of the FPHL point charts in a tie, probably in the lead now after tonight's game? Who's going to cement themselves in the top 3 stars of the night? I'm hundreds of miles away from Monroe, Louisiana right now, and yet I can feel the tension in the air. It looks like the first shooter for the Moccasins will be Declan Conway, a man who was playing just his second game for Monroe. Quick consultation from the referee. Anybody else sweating, or is it just me? Here comes Conway. Picks up the puck at center ice. On the near boards. And it's saved by Rosenzweig. Who will take the first ever penalty shot for the Athens Rock Lobster in their history? Sounds like it's going to be Brandon Picard, and it is. Picard, the left-handed shot, bearing down in on Ekholm Rosen, and he scores. He opts for the wrister blocker side, and Picard fired up as he makes his way back to the Athens bench. Calm, cool, collected, and then explodes on the edge of the faceoff circle. Rather, it was glove side, excuse me. Scott Koash has scored in this game. A zoom in on Koash. And another save from Rosenzweig. My goodness, he might be star number 1 on the night. And now, Kaysen Gallant has a chance to end this game and get the first ever shootout win for the Rock Lobsters. Just days ago, he was the top goal scorer in the FPHL. And he wins it for Athens! First ever shootout win, and Kaysen Gallant wants to hear it from the Monroe crowd. The Rock Lobsters take this series on a shootout victory. Kaysen Gallant with the punctuation mark. My goodness. Can we get a big claws up in the chat for the first ever shootout win for the Athens Rock Lobsters? No doubt the Monroe Moccasins will have nightmares of their first 4 games against Athens in the Monroe Civic Center. We'll take a look at what's next for both teams. In the month of November, the Rock Lobsters will have just single game weekends, starting with with Carolina and the Thunderbirds on November 9th, that game taking place at 6:05 Eastern Time. And then they'll travel to Columbus. I'll be at that game. We hope that you guys will be there, too, to cheer on your team with the cross-state foes in the River Dragons. As for Monroe, they travel to Michigan to take on the Motor City Rockers for a 2-game set. Rock Lobsters, Crustacean Nation, you have seen the first shootout win in Athens hockey history, and that leads us right in to the 3 stars of the night. Third star is going to go to the man who shut the door in the shootout. Kaysen Gallant gets the 3rd star of the night. Second star goes to Garrett Milan. He had a big performance once again for the Rock Lobsters. A goal and an assist for him. He is more than likely at the top of the FPHL scoring list now. And star number 1 of the night, who else can you give it to? He made highlight reel save after highlight reel save, making a total of 30 saves on the night in his return to the Athens Rock Lobster team, Josh Rosenswag. Without him, you question if the Rock Lobsters were able to eke out this win. So many tremendous highlight reel saves, the kind that you want to watch over and over again. We'll take a quick look at the chat. Raylyn Robertson says, claws up. Can't wait to watch their first home game in Athens on December 6th. Coming all the way from Canada. We can't wait to see you there, Raylyn. Michael Williamson says, Gallant, this is why I love you. Hoobie Doobie says, Rosenswag for President 2024. Well, feel free to write him in on Tuesday. Until then, this has been Mateen Rad calling this game in the Monroe Civic Center, which ends 3-2 for the Rock Lobsters. They win it in the shootout. What an absolutely electric game. The Rock Lobsters are going to have those performances over and over again this year. So make sure that you go ahead and get in on your season tickets. With the Athens Rock Lobsters off to a hot start, now is the time to lock in your loyalty. Secure your season tickets and save big compared to single game prices, plus enjoy exclusive benefits like early entry and meet and greets with the team. Do not miss a moment. Get your season ticket today. For more, visit rocklobstershockey.com/tickets. My name is Mateen Rad. You've been Crustacean Nation. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. The Rock Lobsters win it in the shootout. That's going to be one to remember for a long time. Until then, we'll see you next time. Rock Lobsters back on the road November 9th, Saturday night, 6:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Come and watch the game with me. We'll see you next time.